maybe Lil Wayne, somebody who like writes in a vacuum because he's so detached from the world. But there's no way to be outside and not create. You know what I mean, with influences, and to what degree do your influences deserve credit? Because I don't know how many original takes I have, but I know that I consume information. I have a thought, and then I may pull something from here. Ooh, that was good. Ooh, Steve Smith of ESPN, he said something good. Ooh, Cowherd, I kind of see where you were going with there, but I'm gonna like flip it this way. Do they deserve writing credits? I don't think so, because I didn't collaborate with them. I didn't work with them, but something that they said gave me a thought.
Exactly. And to the Wayne point of it, I think like with somebody like him, that's why his music today isn't as good. Because it's older, but I just think that like his style of doing music, because he's stuck, like you said, in this vacuum, he kind of has done it one way his entire life. Like that's just the way he does. Like a lot of his shit's like for what it's, he can still rap his ass off.
He just makes bad songs.
Yeah, but it's not good anymore. Yeah, it's just like, and then he also, bro, I don't remember the last time Lil Wayne rapped without autotune. Like all of his music autotune.
He had a decent run recently. He had the What's Poppin' remix. He did the Waukesha remix, and he did the Seeing Green with Nicki Minaj, and that wasn't very auto-tuney at all. It was like, it was Wayne's not really on drugs heavy again either. It's like, yeah, he's smoking weed, but his voice was so much more clear. And I go, oh yeah, he still got it. He got it. You know, I got a bitch from Atlanta with a bitch. I got a hoe out Atlanta with a hoe out Atlanta. You know that line I'm talking about. Like, and I was like, ooh. That line got me in trouble before the wife moved here, because we was like, I don't know if we were together or if I was just singing along with it. She's like, oh, so that's what you do at Pearson's house.
Why you gotta be here? Look,
I was like, no. I honestly wish people could see the fun that they think we have when we hang out versus the fun that we have when we hang out.
Right. And to that point too, I'm looking at this. Basically, he hasn't been like for the most part, his stuff has been auto-tuned since like, bro, since 2015 at least. Like, where it's just most of the features, it's him auto-tuned up. And it's just like, man, I really wish that he would get away from that. I get it. You know, the first time I can remember him heavily using, well, he did a song that, you know, was like one mixtape. He had Me and My Drink. That was auto-tuned like shit, but that was him like singing. But of course, like the first hit being Lollipop, like when he really used auto-tune. And it was
I wasn't a big fan of Lollipop.
I like Lollipop.
I like the remix. Ye went crazy.
I ain't the best in the world. Yeah.
See, he ain't got much auto-tune here. But we can't let that ride too long. Bruh, how about Facebook flagged me because I was like using lyrics, saying them, not playing them, and they still hit me for they had to mute the video in certain places because of that.
Wow.
But this nigga can still rap though.
The fact that the computer can pick it up.
Yeah, so like when I post stuff on YouTube, it's super interesting because it has like a screening process that it goes through where it can detect if there's music on there that's owned by somebody else, and if you're allowed to keep the music there, you can't monetize the video through YouTube.
Right.
Luckily, I don't have enough followers to fucking monetize any video on YouTube, so it's okay. But nonetheless, you have to silence it if you want to make money off of it. So if you like listen to the Joe Budden podcast on YouTube, which I don't recommend to anybody, you should just listen to the podcast. I like the podcast, but just on YouTube, because when he's playing music, you can't hear it. They silence it out because they obviously make money off of their videos.
Right.
It's just nuts. What were we talking about?
Well, we brought it in with Wayne. Well, and just in terms of underrated rappers, and you brought up
Lloyd Banks.
Lloyd Banks, but then we went into underrated, and then I don't know how we really got on Wayne actually, but like
He's a really good rapper, and I like him. Pause.
Mac Miller's another one. That was who I was going to say too. I just don't think, and he's dead now, so like, but in terms of while he was here, man, Mac made good music, and he could rap.
I didn't listen to a lot of Mac Miller because I used to make this joke. It's crazy how life has changed. I used to say I like my rappers like I like my women and my coffee.
Black.
Yes. My wife's not black.
and I'm sure you have a greater appreciation for a Mac Miller these days.
I don't, because I just don't listen to him. Like I just never gave him the time to appreciate him.
If you're gonna give anything a listen by him ever, listen to the Faces mix it, because they put it on Spotify. I don't know if you're an Apple Music or Spotify guy, but
I have both. I don't pay for Spotify, but I mean I still have an account.
Well, it's probably on both anyways, but give that a run. That would be to me his magnum opus. Like it's a great mixtape.
You know, I like that one song, the lucky B word song with Juicy J.
Yeah. That's how it starts.
Oh yeah, I just remember.
God damn, that's a lucky.
Yeah. Julian used to play that song a lot.
Scott Jew.
Do you even think Jew listens to? Let me hold on. So I forgot to tell you in pre-production that I was going to open this with a God complex monologue.
I saw it on the notes.
So let's go. Travis Scott, you know, the rapper that we're not supposed to listen to anymore or wear any of his shoes because he had a group of fans go crazy and kill people. You know, we got to hold him accountable for that. He had the song called "Stop Trying to Be God." You know, and not that I'm the hugest Travis Scott fan, because I've never heard a Travis Scott verse where I was like, "Damn, that nigga spitting," because it doesn't exist. But it's sonically pleasing. But anyways, stop trying to be God. I look around today and I think that we, as American humans, and I'm going to speak to American humans because I interact with American humans. I consume American social media. I think that we have a God complex. I think that we all think what we believe to be true and the world that we see is the world that exists. And if what we see does not exist, it is our job to go out and change it. And I fit into this bracket too. I have a podcast. And I get on here and I talk about what I want to see in society or how I feel about things. Who the hell am I to get on a platform and say what I feel? Who am I? But I ask you the same question. Who are you? I saw a post a couple days ago, and that's kind of what started this, talking about some Russia possibly taking control of Alaska, and don't be surprised if I'm living in Anchorage. And I almost responded and said, who cares? Like, nobody who read this gives a damn if you go to Alaska and we never see you again. But I'll also tell you that Russia will not take Alaska, because that is opening up the door for the greatest world war you've ever seen in your life. Okay, so let's table that here. But people now, right? We voice our opinions a lot more than we used to. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have TikTok. If something political happens, we get upset if our favorite actor, actress, basketball player, football player doesn't have a statement. Who are we to say that they should have a statement? What if they don't have a statement? Or what if their statement is nothing because they care about their corporate interests, they care about their fans, and they don't want to say anything to disturb the people who care about them. That's a thing, right? Who are we to say that they have to say something? Or if somebody does commit an act or say something that we don't like, nothing illegal, just something we don't like, we say they don't deserve to work. Who the fuck are you to say that this person doesn't deserve to work? If the legal system says, hey, that this is not an issue for us, then I mean, it shouldn't be an issue for you as far as their ability to make ends meet for themselves. You can say, hey, I won't consume R. Kelly anymore because he's a creep. But if society says, hey, dude, you're a creep, so we're going to put you in prison for 30 years, then you should be okay with that. And not to say that we should be okay with everything that society does to us, because I think this God complex comes from the lack of control that people have had over their circumstances for so long that they now want to control everything in everybody else's circumstances. Like, imagine somebody telling you, Parlay Pete, hey, you have to be pro-abortion or you have to be pro-choice. No, I have to be whatever the hell I want to be. And if you're not what they tell you have to be, you're wrong.
Contract's mine. Cancel.
Exactly.
You're out of here.
Right. Or if I say, hey, I don't understand the trans community, which I don't, I'm now transphobic because I don't understand something that I don't know much about. Well, you should have done the research. Maybe not. But we have a society of people who want to control what everyone does. They want everybody to look a certain way, act a certain way, and think a certain way. And, I think our God complex is going to send us all to hell. Maybe I'm hyperbolic, or maybe I'm just afraid of the society that my kids may have to live in, where they're told that they have to wear matching shoes as everyone else in the class because this one kid likes red shoes, and we don't want to offend him with our blue shoes because his great grandfather was a blood, like,
yeah, I mean, these are real things that could really happen if we continue going down the rabbit hole that we call acceptance for everybody that's out here that feels like they're not represented enough, and they never did anything wrong to anyone. So that's why everybody should at least be accepting of them. And if they aren't accepting of them, then that means that you're against them. As opposed to, I respect and understand how you feel. This is how I feel. Let's just agree to disagree and move on. No, that doesn't work in today's world. And, with the God complex aspect of it, I look at just little stuff like this. This is why Dave Chappelle made his Ja Rule joke. Because who the fuck does care who the fuck cares what Ja Rule thinks? But the fact that, there's a tragedy going on and they're like, hey, y'all, we're back here. What did they say? Was it TRL? What was it?
I think it was.
He's like, we're back on TRL. He's like, we got Ja Rule on the phone. Ja, tell us what you're thinking right now. Like, as if Ja is somebody that it's like, man, like Dave said, this nigga, he's going to make some sense of this. But it goes into like the God complex, just in general, like how these people are put kind of in these positions, and a lot of them allow it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
one of our topics, we're going to get to LeBron, and maybe we jump off there because LeBron has allowed himself to become exactly what Dave Chappelle made the parody of Ja Rule about. And now, I'm not Laura Ingraham telling LeBron to shut up and dribble. I'm not. But the last two times LeBron has spoken publicly on foreign policy issues, he kind of showed us that he does not understand foreign policy, which I'm not mad at LeBron for not understanding foreign policy. I expect LeBron to know basketball, business, fatherhood, I expect him to know the things that he does, TLC said, don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. I think that this is a prime example of that because, again, LeBron puts out the clip earlier this week in order to garner some attention for the upcoming shop.
Yeah. Get a couple more eyeballs on the product. Why not? If you haven't already been checking it out, hey y'all, we are on HBO Max.
And I'm actually gonna pull up the clip and play it, but he then kind of backpedals after he gets the public criticism. Like, let's see, here we go. Well, maybe if my phone will play.
It's Brittney, bitch.
Oh,
days now.
I didn't have the volume up on the.
She's been there over 110 days. Now, how can she feel like America has her back? I would be feeling like, do I even want to go back to America? Brittney Griner, she is in Russia.
So yeah, they're talking about Brittney Griner being in Russia over 110 days, and Bron's like, should I even want to go back to America? And he called heat for that. And then in a tweet he put out, my comments on the shot regarding Brittney Griner wasn't knocking our beautiful country. It was simply saying how she's probably feeling emotionally, along with so many other emotions, thoughts, etc. inside that cage she's been in for over 100 plus days. Long story short, hashtag bring her home. Hey, bro, who gave a fuck about what LeBron had to say? And I'm a huge LeBron fan, but who cares?
Right. It's one of those things where, like you said, all in all, it was put out to stir up a little bit of, pub for the shop. Because is this the first episode back? Is this the new season?
I don't keep up with it because I'm really not a fan of the shop because they're not actually genuine conversations. They're not.
Yeah, it's just him getting a bunch of people that you wouldn't expect in the same room together to be in the same room together.
And it's a scripted conversation that's heavily edited and produced, so I don't really fuck with it.
Yeah, it's about getting haircuts going on too. And I get it. That's why it's called the shop. Nigga LeBron could be in there. It's supposed to be a barbershop talk TV,
but it's not.
Yeah,
they never argue, and
it's not like they just genuinely are talking about some. It doesn't have to do with any current event or anything. It could, obviously that could come up, but like, it's not just a genuine conversation. Like how we spoke earlier or in the group yesterday or 2 days ago about curriculum for students and stuff. Like that's a random conversation that it stemmed from something, but like at the same time, that could have been something that they could talk about.
Right.
Be a legitimate conversation where there isn't necessarily a wrong answer, but how do you feel? Why and why? Like, why should this be this way?
Even the domestic violence conversation we had in the locker room, like the same day, like that's barbershop talk, and it's disagreeing. It's for us in a group text. It's typing so hard to get your stuff across, just like the one person who's yelling and the veins coming out of their neck. That doesn't happen on LeBron's show. They be agreeing with each other, chilling, drinking wine. Jason Whitlock said that ain't the barbershop. He ain't never been in a black barbershop where he was drinking wine. I was like, Titlock's got a point.
He's right. He's right. Hell, if anything, you got a guy coming around with the shorties. Depending on what barbershop you go to. Now, look, the one I go to, they don't do that. There's a nigga that comes by with plates, though. Seriously. He will stop by and he's like, I got this, that, and really has pre-made plates. It's so crazy. And this is in Atlantic Station. That's what makes it even wilder. But like, but yeah, never see some wine getting uncorked. And I get it. They're all rich. I get it. LeBron's a wine snob. So, and especially now that he's been out in Cali, I'm sure that he knows everything there is about, and he's probably a big Merlot guy, I am.
I bet I could pour that man a Josh Merlot and he like it.
And you tell him it's some other shit.
Yeah.
You could tell him that you made it yourself straight from Cars. You were in Carsville or Albany, and you could say, finest grapes, farmed them. I took care of these grapes like they were my children. Like,
and he'd probably be like, but it smells like my Lobos tequila.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Right, motherfucker.
But, let's kind of get into his statements, though. Do you think Brittney Griner, who was already somebody who, kind of spewed anti-America rhetoric,
As we
with
saw, she said, and granted, this was during the bubble, but as she said, basically that the national anthem shouldn't be played. I got to get the exact quote though.
Get the exact quote because I kind of want to speak to those people, because I'm somebody who voices my disagreements with America and my frustrations with America, but I still love America. And maybe I'm just a scorned woman, a battered woman who keeps going back to my abusive husband. But nonetheless, I love America. And I think that America provides a life for me that's amazing. Let me know when you got the quote.
I got it.
All right, run it.
And the title of the article is, this is Yahoo Sports, National Anthem has no place in NBA. I mean, in WNBA sports. And the quote is, I honestly feel we should not play the national anthem during our season. I think we should take that much of a stand.
Who does it hurt to play the national anthem?
No one.
Now, on the opposite side, I would say, who does it help to play the national anthem? And I think that answer is the same. And I think that people who aren't indifferent to the national anthem being played are the problem. Like, pledge allegiance to the flag. That's cool, but that shit's kind of weird if you think about it. But it's your country. You love your country. But for somebody who says, "Hey, I don't think this national anthem has any place in our league," is speaking to an issue with the country, somebody who's not aligned with what's happening in the country, which is fine. But don't low key denounce the country and then beg the country to bring you home. Like, don't piss on me and call it rain and get mad if I say fuck you, bro. You just pissed on me.
I don't think that's the reason that's happening to her. I just think that it's crazy. It's really a perfect storm of bad for her.
Yeah, now, it is.
It doesn't help that she said that, of course, but like at the same time, I think because she is a gay black woman, she really is put on the back burner a lot more in a sport that arguably maybe the least popular sport in the United States. Literally.
I don't think they make money. I think they're like on NBA welfare.
That's what I'm saying.
They're the single mothers of the NBA.
And the thing is, I don't watch the WNBA. I mean, unless I'm betting on it. But like, of course I know who Brittney Griner is. Like some people didn't know who she was until this happened. Like, I knew who Brittney Griner was.
Yeah, she was the one who said she could beat DeMarcus Cousins.
I knew her before that too. But like, just because she is a uniquely tall woman that was really good at Baylor.
Yeah. She had them weak ass dunks that everybody got hyped about.
Yeah, in college. She was dunking in college and shit. Now, granted, she's 6'7", 6'8", but I digress on that. Either way, just a perfect storm of the idea that what was going on in Russia just so happened to be going on as that happened. Because I think that, for instance, if that wasn't going on, then she'd be out. But, of course, she is a political prisoner to a degree.
Not to a degree. She's a political prisoner. If that wasn't happening, she wouldn't even got arrested or detained for that shit.
She might have gotten arrested, but she would have been out by now.
Yeah, bro.
She wouldn't have been there any more than a couple days, tops.
Yeah, they're and I think if you can't have this discussion, and we touched it last week, but if you can't have this discussion without understanding what's going on politically, you shouldn't have this discussion. If you can't understand why Russia's doing what it's doing, and you can't understand why the United States can't take a hard stance on this, you have no understanding of international politics and diplomacy. Because we cannot say to Russia, give us this basketball player back. Like fuck who it is. Give us this basketball player back, or there will be dire consequences. We can't do that. And hopefully in that conversation that LeBron leaked, they provide full context. And I hope that somebody at the shop does what happens at a real barber shop, gives an opinion that isn't favorable to the room and says, well, I mean, we are funneling money to a country who they're at war with. Why would they give us back somebody we want? Like, that don't make sense. Like,
And on top of that, I don't know Russian law, but I'm pretty sure what she did, this could happen to you if they decide that's what they want to do. And in this case, they're exercising their power to the fullest extent of the law to prosecute her for it. They're doing everything that they can to make it as long as it can be, detaining her as long as they can, and then they're going to send her to a maximum sentence. You know what I mean? Like whatever the max is going to be, they're going to do it to send a message to the United States, or make the United States, of course, like many are reporting, do a trade.
hey, do you think if you and I decided to, sneak a little vape pen, a weed vape pen, in and out of Russia and we get caught, you think that we would get this fucking love that BG's getting?
No, but I think that if it happened during the same time, that they would have still at least be there.
Absolutely.
We're American.
Yeah, once they saw that passport, they go.
But think about it. She is a fine example of this, though. Like, she's a black gay woman.
Bro, it almost like
he's got it bad from all angles, for people that hate gay people that hate black people that hate women.
And hate Americans.
And she's American, bro. She's got it so bad all the way around. Like they couldn't have picked, and she's not. And because, for instance, and apologies to anyone that this offends, because she's not like a womanly woman either.
Nah, she stud.
Yeah, she's a nigga, like for real.
Yeah, like I assume I ain't gonna say that.
And she's, I would say.
She wore Jabos in 08.
Women's basketball, but she's C-list in the world. Maybe even D.
She ain't D. She ain't. You can't put. She ain't D now. She got to be C-list or F-list or E-list because she ain't D.
So you're saying F?
I meant to say E. She got to be C or E. She can't be D.
Ah, fuck you, man. And that was me. I got your back, BG. But no, she, basically she's not a topless stiletto.
Bro, how come we can't have a nuanced conversation about this without being for or against Brittney Griner? Like, I feel like both of us acknowledge that she should have been released by now, but because we understand why she isn't released and isn't going to be released anytime soon without us giving up something, we're against her.
I'm not against her. I think I do think that like she should have been released, like just in general. But the United States certainly could have did more, or can be doing more to get her out. Like especially considering, what was it? It was like a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was a week ago, even when they like her first time that she was seen in public since she got detained. Like, and maybe the United States government had seen her, maybe they had seen her, but the fact that was the first time anyone had seen her even since, it's like, I don't know. I just don't feel like they're doing enough. And I get it. There's a lot of issues going on in the world, and more specifically here. But they're all not all of it, but a lot of it's kind of is tied together.
How do you give Russia's enemy billions and billions of dollars and say, hey, give us our citizen back? You come on now. Like that think about that. That's crazy. Imagine somebody, you get a really nice contract. You're competing with one of your rival companies, right? You get a really good contract from them. They're pissed. And you had, say, 4 or 5 workers get recruited by them. They had committed to you. and then they ended up working with them. And you go, hey man, I really want those guys back. Like these aren't like the people who are like a application. They're like you got their number saved in your phone because when you talk to that area, that's the person you're going to.
Right.
And you go, hey man, I know I snaked you on this contract right here and this other one right here, but those guys, what would it take for us to get them back because we really like them?
They're not trying to hear that shit.
And if we can't have that conversation of, hey dog, you just gave my ops money, drugs, and backing to run the block, but now you saying, hey, my homie over there on your side, we need y'all to take care of him. Actually, we need to get him, and we don't want to get touched. We don't want no smoke, but we need the homie back.
Yeah.
When you make it personal to like life stuff that you can relate to, that it doesn't make sense to free Brittney Griner. And that is not me saying that Brittney Griner does not deserve to be free because she deserves to be free. But we got to like look at this properly. And as we pivot out of this conversation, I don't have a problem with athletes. I don't have a problem with celebrities having stances because I have a stance. And who the hell am I to have a stance? You know? But I would like for you to be well read on the stances that you have so that when you speak to millions and billions of people about how you feel and you actually influence them because they're fucking idiots and they're sheep,
right,
that you come from an informed place. Like I listen to Tucker Carlson because he's thought provoking. I don't agree with shit he says. I take that back. I don't regularly agree with the things that he says, but he's thought provoking. He's good at getting a point across. So I listen to it to learn how to get a point across. But I'm not going to not Trevor. No, I ain't going to him for anything. I'm not going to Tucker Carlson to learn. That's not what he's here for. And I think we got to put our celebrities in the right place of, hey man, I'm going to go to LeBron and learn how to play basketball. I'm going to go to LeBron and learn how to put my guys on. I'm going to go to LeBron and learn how to run a business. I'm going to go to LeBron to maybe learn how to be a father who has a bunch of tentacles in different places. But I don't think I'm going to go to LeBron for international politics.
Yeah. Long story short, you don't have to say anything just because it's going on. And because this isn't truly a private conversation, you're recording yourself. You don't have to necessarily say this. Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't like I know LeBron James, of course. He's got about 123 million more followers than me. But like at the same time, you know, when it comes to anything and everything that goes on in the world, I don't ever post and put that stuff up. Just like you guys in the group know who, like even for instance with an election, like you guys know who I voted for, but I never even had it beforehand when it was going. I never said who I was going to vote for. You could make the assumption, but it's not something I'm necessarily putting out there. Like these things, I don't have to put them up just because I see something happen or, you know, a celebrity die. Like these are things. It's just like, man, that's unfortunate. Like there's just, it doesn't have to be broadcasted. Just because it happens doesn't mean it has to be said.
Exactly. But, you know, something that did get broadcast is the city of Atlanta is moving to shut down venues for 12 months that have 2 violent incidents within the same 2-year period.
The city shut down by Labor Day weekend.
So I'm gonna read the caption and then I'm gonna read another post. Mayor Dickens established a nightlife division to enforce liquor laws and hold bars and restaurants accountable for violence. The city is also trying to reduce bureaucracy that contributed to businesses flouting the law, said nightlife manager Michael Paul. Every day as mayor, I get an alert anytime there's an incident, Dickens said at an April training event for bar and restaurant owners in the city, in City Hall's bright marble atrium. Okay, that's so unnecessary. Because of anticipation, my body now wakes up about 2 o'clock and I sit there and I fool around and I think there's think about what's going to happen. Some night nothing happens, but some nights I get a buzz and there's a shot, and I look at the location and it's within a block or two of some of our nightlife establishments. Between the start of the pandemic and Dickens' inauguration in January, Atlanta experienced about 70 homicides above its pandemic baseline. Almost a third of those occurred within yards of sketchy clubs and restaurants, a product of spontaneous rage, gang warfare, drunken idiocy, and Georgia's gun culture. Whoa. At the same time as violence linked to the city's nightlife exploded, Atlanta's nightlife enforcement fell apart. A scathing report last year showed that the police unit enforcing liquor license standards was at about half staff, and that recommendations to pull license had piled up without action on Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom's desk. Some restaurants have effectively become nightclubs by flouting license standards. Other places regularly sold alcohol without license at all, waiting to get caught. Operators of unregulated bars are more likely to look the other way while crimes occur. Meanwhile, bodies stacked up. Source: The Atlanta Magazine. And this was on the spiritual word. I ain't gonna lie to you, that bottom part was a lot of left propaganda.
That's what it sounded like to me too.
But here we go. Let me see if I can read in public better this time. An ordinance by council members Dustin Hillis, Jason Dozier, Matt Westmoreland, Jason Winston, and Mary Norwood, Howard Shook, Liliana Bakhtiari, Alex Wan, Byron D. Amos, Antonio Lewis, Andrea L. Boone, Amir Faroki, Keisha Sean Waits, and Michael Julian Bond are substituted by Public Safety and Legal Administration Committee to amend Chapter 74, Article 5, Section 74-175 of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances to authorize the municipal court to order the abatement of a public nuisance established as a result of violent conduct or crime occurring with certain properties through the immediate closure of such properties. To require the municipal court to order the abatement of such a public nuisance through the immediate closure of such properties where the municipal court has determined such a public nuisance to have occurred twice regarding the same property within 24 months and for other purposes. So what it sounds like is Dog is blaming everything on Keisha and saying that Atlanta has become a wild place and we got to tame these people because they acting up.
It's the jungle.
And there's a part of me that says, hey, bro, this is some bullshit because you can't really control what the people are doing. And if you, the city of Atlanta, if you're not enforcing your liquor laws properly, you should not punish the business owners because you're not doing your job. You should do your job better.
Or hire people that are qualified to do it, that aren't corrupt, that aren't taking money. And because I have to imagine if somebody is selling liquor, there's no way that they're going around and they know who does and doesn't have a fucking license. And, you know, they should know. This is information that should be known. Clearly, whomever they have in control of that zone or however they break it down to have who does that job in order to check on that stuff is corrupt. They're probably getting paid off, or there's a favor that's being done one way or another to where, you know, he's scratching their back while they're scratching his. And so,
hey, what your daddy teach you about getting ass?
in regards to,
Didn't he teach you got to give ass to get ass?
oh yes, yeah, absolutely. See, I don't know why I'm thinking about something.
Yeah, you was Mr. Nasty Time.
Well, my dad also told me that there's two things that'll always get a man. He said a whiskey glass and a woman's ass. And so drinking and fucking women will be the downfall of a lot of men.
Those are my two biggest vices.
Hey. But you gotta balance too. Look, I got mine too. Cheers to that, by the way. We got a balance going on here, so you know it doesn't.
Hey, do you think this law has anything is tied to the YSL and the YFN RICO cases too?
Barely, if so, not too much. I just think that there has been a lot of violence here, man. Like,
No, Atlanta's scary now.
It's one of those things where I think, and actually, and I don't know 100%, but like I live down the street from Monaco, and that was where, right outside of there is where King Von got shot. Like right here, it was like right here, and
down the street from Subway too, where
yeah, and then that just happened down the street, 3 weeks ago or something like that. So
yeah.
I just think there's just been a lot going on, and I think, one of the things where I see why he did it, but at the same time, it doesn't make too much sense. But like even, one of the few things like I will disagree with Governor Kemp on is the gun law that he kind of the right to carry. Him putting it to where you don't need a license necessarily to have a gun. That doesn't really make any sense whatsoever.
Hey, do you have a concealed carry permit?
I don't.
Do you want to know the standard for having a concealed carry permit in Georgia?
It's probably not too much.
It is. You go to the courthouse, and as long as you don't have, as long as your background check comes back clean, you're good. Like that's it. There's no classes. There's no competency on gun use. Nothing.
Right. You don't have to take a class and you pass it to where they're like, okay, yeah, he's fine. He knows how to properly conceal and use. And
you do more to hire somebody than Georgia does to give out a gun. Before Kemp changed the law.
Yeah. It's a very NRA friendly state.
Yeah, so
there's like gun shows like every week here.
Exactly, at a gun show,
they have them a lot, man, because they put the fucking ads on the radio. So
right, but you know why they do the gun shows, right? Because you can legally buy a gun without a background check at a gun show.
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to sell a gun at a pawn shop or a gun shop where they got to run a background check? Go to the gun show, you can just buy that bitch like it's a pack of cigs. Nah, actually, it's hard to buy a pack of cigs because you got to be 18. You got to be 21 to buy cigs.
Yeah.
It's like buying a Snapple.
Which, by the way, when did they change that law? When did tobacco become 21? Because even these, I think these, you got to be 21.
I don't know. I remember I bought some tobacco one day. Like I thought I wanted to smoke a black and mild again, and I got ID, and I was like, "Are you serious? What are you IDing me for?" It's 21. I go, "Yeah,
Nigga,
I'm 26."
All right.
But what I really think though is happening in Atlanta is there is a segment of Atlanta, North Fulton County, who wants to leave Fulton County as is because they don't want their tax dollars down there around Georgia State and the West End and the old Turner Field. They don't want their tax dollars.
They're turning this area up, bro. Like over there by Turner Field, that's Summer Hill now, bro. Like that is like a legit, like, I went over there, place that you've got to try, by the way. Talent Market.
You should take me next time I'm in town.
Yeah, no, for sure. We got to go. You like oysters?
Yeah, love them.
Oh man, they make they have this like Thai sauce. It is unbelievable. It really is. Some of the best oysters in the city. But
over that's the great oysters I had in Toledo, Ohio.
I remember you talking about that. Yeah,
bro, they get them fresh every day.
Is Toledo on water?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lake Michigan, like up there.
One of those Great Lakes. I don't know which one, but yeah.
Erie.
Sure. Shit. Big dirty lake.
Well, you want to be closer to the water for it, but yeah, Atlanta's Atlanta. But I'm sure that they're still getting them fresh from wherever they're getting them. Now they're not.
Atlanta's a 3-hour drive.
Not straight from the lake or the sea to the plate, but lake to sea to plane to plate. We got to throw the plane in there. Hold on, my bad. So you got that. But
hold on. This man is in the middle of making a point and stop to read a text.
No, I got it. It was a business. It was business.
It's business. Never mind. I can't make fun of him.
Yeah.
I was going to call it the Gen Zer.
That lake is So Toledo kind of sits on like a stream or a river. It's not the Mississippi River. Yeah, I know that. It's definitely not that.
I don't know which one.
It's not given the name on my Apple map, but I see.
Like we could see it. It was like right there.
Yeah, I could see it.
Toledo,
Oregon, really close to Toledo.
Let me tell you what, Toledo. If you had got stuck in the Midwest shithole, Toledo's not bad.
Go watch the Toledo Rockets play a couple of Maction on Tuesdays.
You got minor league baseball,
maybe.
Bro. You got minor league baseball. They're downtown.
Who's the affiliate?
I don't know or care, but it's there. They're downtown. They got a fun downtown.
Not the
Commanders or the Chargers or whatever. What are they now?
Guardians. I said, look at this. Cancel me already. Please, just cancel me. I'm sorry.
They're downtown. Like you'd have a good time in their downtown. You still got a good black-white ratio diversity, and you're 45 minutes from Detroit.
You want to know what this sounds eerily like?
What's up?
Pensacola a little bit. I was shocked with how impressed I was. Now, probably a little bit wider though, but like I was shocked with how impressed I was with a place like Pensacola.
I hear it's fun.
Because you see a guy like Anthony Gambles, you're like, so you grew up in Pensacola, Florida, Gambles. He's like, yeah, man, you know how Gambles is. And
he's a stud though.
He is the man in that town. I swear to God, every time I've been there and he's been there, everybody knew who he was. And it was just like, it's like I didn't realize that the Gambles ran this side of the fucking Mississippi. I mean,
I'm about to call him and see if he answers.
He won't.
I know he won't.
I'd be willing to bet he won't. But Pensacola, it sounds similar. They have a minor league team. Great oysters down there too, by the way, because of course they're on the water as well.
Hey, Gambles.
Good food.
Gambles.
Hey, who is this?
Wow, you don't have my number, Gambles? It's Lee. You're on a podcast with me and Pierce right now, so don't say anything crazy.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, Gambles? How are we doing today, sir?
I'm actually in the gym right now.
You're in the gym? Yeah, we're just talking about you.
That makes a ton of sense.
What you lifting right now, man?
Well, I just finished deadlift. I do 3 sets of 3 at my top set. So like I do like 495 for 3, then 515, and then 525. And then I work down, and then I do like some lat shit and some upper body stuff. I mean upper back stuff.
You're a stud, man. I'll never touch 500 pounds of weight on anything ever
Dude,
in my life.
I'm telling you, man. As soon as Josh saw me when I was doing, I couldn't do 1 squat. And he started laughing at me in the videotape, and I was like, not again.
I'm proud of you, man. Real quick, tell us about life in Pensacola. Like, tell us how great it is, because apparently you're the man down there.
Dude, man. Pensacola life, man. There's nothing better when it comes to just being in the Navy, man. Like the weather, the bars, the clubs. Like, if you want to go swimming, you can do that.
The brunch.
I mean,
the oysters.
Oh my gosh, man. Oh yes, you're saying all the right things, man. I'm telling you. Hey, you can do anything, man. Paradise.
Seville.
You say what?
Seville, Floribama, all the good spots.
Oh yeah, all those spots, man. Floribama is amazing. Or you can just go to like you said, Seville, man. We go O'Reilly's, Seville, everything.
What's the first Friday? What's the first Friday of every month called again, Gambles?
It's Thursday. It's gallery night.
Gallery night. God damn it.
What the hell is gallery night?
Where the city turns.
It's basically like all the artists, like the bands, they come out to block off the street, like in New Orleans.
Oh wow!
You walk up and down with like open container, everything. So,
it's basically Bourbon Street. It turns into Bourbon Street.
Hey, that's beautiful. But hey, look here, Gambles. Didn't know you were working out, man. Get back to it. Can I call you by your nickname on the podcast?
What's that?
Can I call you by your nickname?
Yeah, sure.
All right. It's nice talking to you, Pulpy. Have a good one, man.
Okay, fuck you. Bye.
Bro, I didn't expect him to answer the phone, and I'm low-key bothered he doesn't have my number saved. I thought we were friends.
I'm surprised Gambles is answering random numbers if he doesn't have your number saved. Like,
I'm not shocked that I can see gambles answering a random number than opening Instagram to respond to a group text.
That's gambles for you, though. You know, if there was a way of putting him across as the most unknown, interesting man in the world, it would be Anthony Gambles.
Dog, he is so interesting, and there are stories I wish I could tell because I didn't learn how interesting Gambles was until after college.
See, you know, we met Gambles. He was in PSP with us too. He's one of the
Really?
people. Yeah, he was in PSP with us. That, like I said, a majority of like our friend group, everybody was in PSP. We were all in PSP. JP, like all of us were in PSP together. And you got to think about this too, because technically that's when college got started for us. For what?
Yeah, you know, like 3 weeks after high school, you guys said, "Fuck my summer, I'm going to PSP."
I was made go. I didn't want to go, but it was the best part about it is none of us were going because we needed to complete it in order to get into the school. Like there were some people that were in PSP that weren't, no matter how well they did, they weren't getting credits. They
were in PSP to prove to the school that they could get into college because they needed the school was going to take their money, and they were going to start off their college career on academic probation.
Exactly. Like I was good. I mean, we were good already, so I was there competing to get 9 credit hours. That's what I wanted, and I ended up getting 6 because they wouldn't give you the credit if you got anything lower than a B. B minus, no good. C plus, no good. And then, of course, Morehouse, I think at Morehouse, if you don't get a C, you don't pass anyway. You have to retake the course.
Inside your major, if it's a required course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me tell you how I got fucked at Morehouse. So I took this one class. It was called Contemporary Political Thought. And
the name of it's already
don't clap.
It's giving Morehouse anyways.
Oh, absolutely. Giving Morehouse. So here's the thing. The professor gave us a reading journal that we had to fill out because we were supposed to read every day and like write notes on what we read. And he could pull the journal at any point in time and it would get graded. Hey, bro, I ain't do that reading journal. I read when I felt like it. And I wrote the papers, and I wrote B papers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because I'm ignorant, and I said, "Bro, I ain't doing your reading journal. I'm just gonna write papers." I ended up getting a D+ in the class. So it's a major class, so I had to retake it. It was the equivalent as Intro to Political Theory, right? So when I retake it, it's repackaged as Intro to Political Theory, but it's the same exact course material, same exact books. The papers had like a different topic, but it was writing on the same stuff, right?
Right.
I was not able to replace that D+, because you know how Morehouse, if you retake a class, they'll take the higher for your GPA.
Right.
I didn't get that because they were 2 different courses, but it was the same exact course material. And I will say to this day that Morehouse fucked me over.
Mm.
You know, just like a lot of people in our community will blame a system for their fuck ups, not what they actually fuck up on, man. This isn't on the docket, but man, I was listening to Charleston White today, right? And I was listening to some other stuff, and it got me thinking about, you know, these rappers and how there's this attack on black art and black music because these people, they're trying to use lyrics against people in court. If you rapped that you got pounds of perks and pounds of weed and pounds of dope and you got bodies here and there, could anybody use that against you in court right now, given the life that you're living?
Yeah.
No. Would it prove anything? Like if they did an investigation, like would those lyrics do anything to you?
No.
So
it shouldn't.
As much as I support free speech and I support these rappers saying whatever the hell they want to say, yo, bro, can you get mad at people for using your criminal lyrics against you if you're a fucking criminal?
No.
Like, because you're actually a criminal.
It's and at that point, you've already, we've got you down for this, and you're saying this, and it's kind of one of those things where, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's probably a duck. And that's the kind of the situation that a guy like Thug, this is the lifestyle that they rap about, portray, and then prior to becoming rappers, it didn't help that you kind of had this, this sheet showing that you were into this. Like, this was kind of the stuff that you were into, and it, it's unfortunate for them, of course, if in fact, they're not guilty.
But you said I was about to say, is it unfortunate? But you said if they're not guilty.
If they're not guilty, and this is how this ended up going down for them. But once again, it's one of those things where you kind of did it to yourself a little bit. And look, there's been rap. This shit's been going on for decades of people talking like this. People still don't know if, in fact, in reality, if I got a story to tell is even true about Biggie. And this is him fucking somebody's wife that plays for the Knicks. Rap is wrestling. It really is. It is wrestling. Some of that shit is real in wrestling, of course. That's why guys break, like Stone Cold Steve Austin really broke his neck after he got pile drive one time, because they have to make it look a certain way, but then something accidentally happens to where, this happens. They got to really pick each other up. They just got to make sure they don't slam them too hard. Like they got the springy matches. Like it's rap game is WWE.
Question for you. Has every take you've ever given on this podcast, do you believe all of those right now?
No.
Have you ever embellished a take because you know we're doing a podcast?
Yes.
So, hey, rappers, embellish. Don't be that real. If you want to talk about this shit, do a story about a guy. Don't say, I will do this or I did that.
I was in the...
Yeah, don't say I was in the trap. Be like, G was in the trap. And it's like, oh, you just telling a story about your homeboy G. You just as G. We're going to get back to our topics. Last question for you. Do you think anybody has ever woken up and been like, hey, dog, I want to rap like Gunna? Is Gunna like the worst? Is he like the worst mainstream rapper ever?
Nah, he's not the worst. Just because he's got some hits. Like, he's got some hits.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about his productivity. I'm talking about his ability.
The actual rap.
Yeah, like.
I don't think he's the worst. No, not the worst.
He's probably the worst. He's probably in that Travis Scott, K Camp, French Montana bag of nothing.
Yes, fair.
Nothing that they've ever rapped
hits in it. So like, yeah,
they
French Montana. It's funny because he's like low key a garbage lyricist, but like not even low key. He is a garbage lyricist, and he's always typically carried by a feature. But whenever he has a feature, he provides a quotable for us, at least within the feature.
Have you been to a French Montana concert before?
No, and I never will.
Let me tell you what. I went to a concert where French Montana was an act.
Who was the headliner?
J. Cole.
Okay. I'm surprised Cole got French Montana to...
No, it was a
they've done a couple tracks together too.
It was the big radio station in LA, the one that Big Boy is on.
Yeah.
They did like their version of Birthday Bash. Okay. And I went to that. So like they had Cardi, they had Yo Gotti, they had French, and they had J. Cole headline. And when I tell you French only brought out Sway Lee for Unforgettable. That was the only feature he brought out. I was like, yo, boy, this nigga right here is terrible. Ain't nobody come to hear you, Otis.
Right.
Hey, French, I wanted you to bring out like I came because I thought you was gonna bring out. It's a concert in LA where everybody lives. I'm like, yeah, you gonna bring them out. Like
Yeah,
you know,
we're gonna get Drake to give us basically a mini set.
right. Oh, the one person we did get that wasn't on the docket was Ty Dolla $ign. Let me tell you, it was so crazy being in LA, listening to a crowd receive Ty Dolla $ign versus a crowd in LA receiving Yo Gotti, right? Yo Gotti came out to I Got That Sack. For us, we was in college when that shit came out. That was going up in the club, going up in all the house parties. I'm like the only person like in my area standing up when that shit came on. I'm like, I rock Gucci, Louis, Prada, nigga. Know what shop they said? Yellow Bone, super fine. No, I'm hitting it from the back. Like, I'm into it. And I look around.
Them Cali niggas were too cool for it. They looked at you, they're like, this country ass nigga here.
Bruh. And then when Dolla $ign out there doing B-sides, bro. Like, he ain't even just doing the hits, he doing the B-sides. And I'm sitting down like, oh, it's time to go pee, go to the bar. And the whole stadium is hype. I go, really? This is the hook nigga.
See, I was about to say Ty Dolla $ign's more of a featured nigga anyways. So like
to us,
and I would give Ty Dolla $ign, and this is generous, and he's talented. He is talented. This is generous. Ty Dolla $ign is of the last 5-6 years, maybe even 7 years. He's the T-Pain light. Is that fair?
I wouldn't even call him T-Pain light. I would call him T-Pain ultra.
Okay, that's fair too. I like the way you put that. He would be in that category of an artist. And T-Pain had in his own rights. Like I love what's it called?
3 Rings.
Yeah. Basically that album. Yeah, like
that album's hard, but his first album. Ty Dolla $ign, he at his peak could hit T-Pain, but he could not be that consistently.
He couldn't.
But as people who are, we're influenced by Southern music, we love Atlanta rap. And Atlanta rap is so interesting. You have the early 90s, the Goody Mob, Dungeon Family days that kind of transition into Outkast to, I truly believe Outkast, they like kick down the doors for everybody else in Atlanta to be what they were because they had that street background with them, but they were so lyrically superior to many of the rappers in the game that they got the respect that you needed from those bozos up in New York who think they run culture B. Like, I promise you, ain't nobody in the South ever said B, but y'all was talking about bandos in New York. I promise you. But anyways, and I think that ushered in, that 2000s rap that became trap music, that T.I. and Jeezy and Gucci argue about who created it. Like, hey, bro, all y'all did that. You know what I mean?
Trap was like a fusion because think about it, before trap, I tell you what, Crunk walked so that trap could run.
There we go. And I'm sorry, I forgot about Lil Jon and Crunk music. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, Lil Scrappy.
Yeah, Crunk was really the prelude to trap.
Crunk made us mainstream because you could play that at any club and get your club jumping. You know what I mean?
And just because all right, so yeah. So like, for instance, like Crime Mob to me is it's basically that is crunk. Like,
yes,
when you start crunk music, you start talking about these is literally music where you go out and motherfuckers can be pushing each other and maybe it'll start a fight, but maybe it won't. Maybe everybody they're in such a high gear where we're just pushing each other, kind of like a mosh pit a little, but like not really.
But like, what made crunk music work, there wasn't an equivalent to it. And you start thinking about athletes. Come on, dog. Like, who didn't listen to crunk music before the game? Hey, bro, we got a game, bro. Let's get crunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the vibe. And not only was that the vibe in the South, bro, that was everywhere. You know what I mean? I remember Joe Budden talking about going on stage after Lil Jon. He was like, what do you do?
You play bump it up, and then you just try and like, you know how like DJs used to like run shit back like after you did the first verse. You come out, Joe, you do the first verse, and then he's like, hold on, turn that shit back. bump, bump, bump it, dun, dun, and then you go back, like you just so because everybody knows that, and then from there you're just like,
how do you
start talking shit to the crowd, and then you introduce the next person. That's what you do.
Yeah, exactly. But coming behind that, there's no way to capture that same type of energy. And so then you had Crunk into Trap, and Trap has had its long run, but in between that, you also had Snap.
Yes, and obviously, I think what falls under the Snap genre is not just obviously, kind of because Snap's kind of like a Crunk hybrid too.
It was a spinoff of Crunk.
Yeah, it's on that tree, and I would say that Trap isn't necessarily on the same tree as Crunk, but it would be the equivalent of how oranges and lemons and limes are all citrus, but they're not like the same.
Yeah, I'll give you this one. I forgot. You know how what's that show? Girlfriends had the spinoff.
For the Parkers?
No. The football show.
Girlfriends. I'm mixing up shows. I was thinking of Moesha. Moesha spun off to the Parkers.
You're right. You know how Girlfriends spun off to the football show?
The Game?
The Game, yes. The Game is Trap. It came from it, but like it stands on its own without Girlfriends. Just like
it's like Cheers and Frasier.
Yeah, just like Trap can stand on its own without, the Crunk. But then you got the Crunk. Then you go into, you got your what we talking about? We said Snap. Then Snap, you get Futuristic.
Yes, they have their own coaching tree.
Yeah, because then you got your.
It doesn't mean just because you came from a coaching tree that the one further down isn't much better than the origin story, right? Like what's a good example of that? Bill Parcells is a good coach, but Bill Belichick obviously came from his tree, and Belichick's the best NFL coach of all time. Yeah. But he's from the Parcells tree, which in its own is an extension into Nick Saban. Now,
and that's the thing, right? And
in its own right too, from Belichick.
Because Trap is Belichick. Because it's gonna have this sustained run while everybody else is cooking. Like Saban has his peaks, right? But goddamn, Belichick is still doing him. You know what I mean? And that's Trap, because Trap's still happening during this entire time. Like Gucci Mane, T.I. and Jeezy was rapping from, I don't know what, 03?
Yeah.
Till now? Like,
and then you have to look at the many different things that trap music created. Like, without trap music, to me, there is no Gangsta Grills.
Hell no.
It doesn't make Gangsta Grills as popular. And I know Wayne had
there's no Jack Harlow, bro. Without trap music, there's no Jack Harlow.
Yeah. It creates a lot of stuff that comes from it. Because even would you say somebody like Lil Uzi, what do you consider his genre? I know he's kind of got emo a little. What would you consider his music? Is that trap music?
Bro, he a Philly nigga that want to be from Atlanta.
He's been embraced by it though.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying he listened to trap music. He didn't listen to Freeway. You know what I'm saying? Like Meek, like Meek.
Man, Cassidy was that nigga.
Meek listened to Cassidy and Beans and shit, right? State Property. That's what Meek listened to. Uzi,
and he's a product of that, as we can see. That's why his music had its short time.
Yeah, that's why we don't listen to it.
Now he's more of a celebrity just on Instagram and just known for
being Nicki's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, Meek Mill. Yeah.
But then, after you had the Futuristic, that's when you kind of get into I don't even know what to call it. You get into like the auto-tune, the future shit. Let's talk the future.
This is trap too, in my opinion.
It is trap, but it's a different spin on trap, especially when he brought in the auto-tune. You know what I mean? Like when he first came in, he rapped in his real voice.
He made Atlanta Trap and T-Pain have a baby.
Exactly. And then you got like the Migos flow. Like, I don't even know what you call that
Mumble
shit.
rap.
Huh?
Mumble rap.
But the Migos didn't mumble. They set up the mumblers.
But they do. They're not mumble rappers, but they inspire.
They're the face of mumble rap, but they wasn't mumbling. They was just speaking of bonics that y'all dumb niggas couldn't understand.
I mean, look, I'm with you. I knew what they were saying, but I'm just saying, you know, if you get Takeoff in, we did the like, you know what I mean? Like,
you mean the best Migo?
Offset.
Takeoff.
Offset. He's a good because he does hooks. Like Takeoff never does a hook. Offset does.
Takeoff don't talk.
I know, but that's
that nigga raps and smokes.
He just I know, and so. But Offset, he's got the best combination of it all. He can't because he can rap too, but he also can do a good hook.
Take out Outkast.
Their best song, Bad and Bougie. He's on the hook. It's basically his song. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, featuring Quavo and Lil Uzi.
Hey, take out the Locks, G Unit, and Outkast. Like, if you like look at legit rap groups, right? And I mean like rap groups, guys who are more defined by the group than they are by their own selves. And I know that Outkast is bigger than Andre 3000, but Andre 3000 is in GOAT conversations, like by himself.
Lyrically, yes.
Lyrically, yeah. And you can throw Jada in those conversations too. He's like honorable mention in like best rappers. Like, what it is.
Go ahead.
Has there been a better like boy band rapper type combo than Migos?
In terms of all three of them getting their due,
all three getting their just due, and even their influence on the culture, bro. Because like you hear their flow in pop songs. Like, I was listening to some Ariana Grande the other day, and she was Migo flowing.
Let me see. I'm trying to think of groups. I mean, the first group. See, I thought you were going to tell me who's the best outside of those three. But obviously, Juicy J had a second life post 3-6 Mafia, where he was already big on 3-6, but I think arguably you could argue that solo stint post 3-6, he really became bigger than
absolutely
a little bit than 3-6.
No. He became Beyonce.
Yeah. A group that's had that type of success where every member kind of gets their just due.
But also their influence on music. Like, people sounding like them. You remember when Jeezy on Which One You Working, Jeezy came in with Amigos flow in like 2013. It's like, Jeezy, what are you doing, bro?
You know what's funny? Jody Meeks and Jeezy are in Boys in the Hood, right?
Jody Meeks, the basketball player?
No, Jody Breeze, not Jody Meeks. You remember Jody Breeze?
Yeah, he was in Bad Boys.
Yeah, Jody Breeze. That's not it, but that obviously they don't fit that.
Right, what up, man? And that one too. Bitch, when you working, go.
Nah, that ain't which one I'm looking for.
I can't name one. I'm trying to think as hard as I can, and nobody is coming to mind. D4L, for what it's worth, I mean, on a much lower scale, they had Fabo and Shawty Low. Who else was in D4L?
What movie is that?
Nobody we care about.
Okay, that's what
Stop, man. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find this verse, because this is when I really knew like Migos had came up, and this was before they was mainstream hot. But
Hey, tell me this. What movie is that?
you know, Rocco made all that money off Future, and now Rocco don't rap no more. I don't like that. We're gonna get to the question after I hear this verse, because I think it's hilarious. Let me just try to kill this dead air. Here we go. Oh, no. Oh, here we go. I found it. Here's coming. And this shit was crazy. I remember hearing I go, what is Jesus?
I bet in this business, but this is working just me and my partners. We ain't nothing, we ain't shit if you ain't talking dollars. If you see him with me,
It's so not Jeezy.
Huh?
It's so not Jeezy. Take a
Yeah,
look
like,
at
bro, like,
by the
why
way.
are you trying to sound like Takeoff right now?
Take a look at what I just sent you, by the way.
Text or Instagram?
Instagram. I don't know why this just came up, even though this was posted on July 6th. But
Okay, hey, I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna play it.
well, you don't have to play it. I don't know because I haven't heard it, but maybe hold on. Yeah, actually play it.
All right, let's play it. Fuck it.
Your stand-up when we was in Atlanta, and one of the jokes you was talking about, you was basically saying like, man, I can't talk about this forever, this rap stuff. Like, I was 21. I don't have a
trap music mindset.
Yeah, right. Like you was like, I kind of outgrew my mind. I don't
You could tell that shit was written by a 20-year-old.
Right. I just don't want to sell dope today.
That's the thing. Like, just looking at, life is a series of adjustments. And from the time we born to the time we die, we will adjust. And of course, I accept the fact that I have acquired a special set of skills I no longer get to use. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I respect it. Now, for me to go out here and continue to force those skills on the marketplace when I know I have no real stage to present these skills on, it's counterproductive.
And that is a perfect example of what we just heard from Jeezy with the verse you just gave out. T.I. knows that he can't do this anymore. And that's why even I look at what T.I.'s last hit that was his. It was
About the money with Thug.
Yep, that's his last hit.
Hold on. Let me tell you though.
No,
let me tell you what. Hold on. T.I. cap though. T.I.'s cap right here. All T.I. is doing this is because he lost his VH1 deal because of his allegations. He doing the same thing he did when he went on Crime Stoppers, the same thing that he did when he dropped his best album, Paper Trail. And that's what he's doing.
He's just trying to agree with me on that.
He's just trying to save face for society because he tired of society trying to put him in a box. Hey, T.I., the thing is, when you start talking about your thoughts on the community, you start talking about on how black people need to do this and do that and how you would do this and how you would do that, you still come from it with the trap mindset, right? I don't believe snitching is bad, ever. Like, I ain't gonna just sit here and come volunteer some information on somebody because I got better things to do. I mind my own business. But at the same time, if, hey, Parlay P, if me and you ride in the car and we in your car and we get pulled over with a pound, they say, whose is that? That's his. Because I know it ain't mine. I just got in this car 10 minutes ago. I'm not, no, it's not mine. It is his.
Right.
It don't change how I feel about you.
Right.
But I'm not sitting down for some shit that you're doing that I have nothing to do with.
And that you don't know about.
Exactly.
It'd be one thing if I told you, hey, man, I got a pound in here.
Hey, man, you need to go upstairs with that.
I'm not going to take the rap for me having it, but at least you're aware and you can say why. You can question, first of all, why do you have it in here? Secondly, here, man, I got too much to lose.
Let's get an Uber.
I'll get or let's Uber. Yeah.
Like, exactly.
Yeah.
But like T.I. is saying this. T.I. is just saying this shit because it sounds good, and I hope that he's right.
I'm just saying he don't make trap music no more.
Because don't nobody want to hear T.I. rap no more.
Well, because it's okay. Nobody wants to see Michael Jordan play basketball anymore.
Bro,
everybody's prime passes them.
Not everybody though.
Some people, yes. Some people like even Serena Williams now she's finally getting to see it. I mean,
question.
Uncanny what she did.
Question.
Tennis, doing it for 20 years. But Tom Brady.
Question.
Like, yeah.
If Jay, like today it's Thursday night. If Jay drop a surprise album at midnight, you're listening.
Hell yeah.
Guess what? Gucci dropped the album 2 weeks ago. Gucci Man fans, listen. Gucci stay young. T.I., he an old nigga. He old, bro. Like he
the Gucci album, and I look. And Grant, I like Gucci, man. Obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of Gucci, but I didn't.
Yeah, you ain't like me and Jew.
Dropped an album.
Huh?
Is this the same? This isn't the same thing where you had the Quavo doing the Gritty. It's the same album.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bit to the Gritty.
So I actually heard that song. Solid song too. But he's got Young Miami and Quavo on it. So like, I'm not saying. And he dropped this track, one where his son's in it.
Happy Wife, Happy Life.
Yeah, it was whichever one. It was like him telling a story.
You talking about the song Ice Dad? You talking about the song where he talking about his wife?
He had a yellow Lamborghini or yellow. It was a yellow car in it.
I don't remember. Yeah, but Gucci dropped.
Obviously,
Gucci be dropping music, but he stays relevant in music listeners' ear. T.I. don't do that no more. So it's easy for T.I. to say, I can't talk about trap music no more. But T.I., you can't talk about nothing that we want to hear.
You gotta understand too. I don't know if he's still signed to him, but T.I. fucking bro, Travis Scott is his artist. Travis Scott was signed to Grand Hustle. That's why on the intro for Rodeo, that was released under Grand Hustle. I don't know if he still is. If you go to it.
Hey, question though. Question. Why you look that up? I ain't gonna say question. I'm gonna tell you.
I'm almost certain that Travis Scott was signed to Grand Hustle. Yep.
So
it was released through Grand Hustle, distributed by Epic. So T.I. is fucking he's chilling because Travis Scott's his fucking artist. Like,
yeah, that's why I think ain't rapping.
Let me see. Wait. Let me see who's currently on Grand Hustle, just so I can know.
Grand Hustle, man. More hustles than hustle, man. Why the rubber band is representing the struggle, man?
I mean, what? Because PSC, I remember at one point everybody wanted to get that shit. Trey the Truth is the vice president of Grand Hustle. Travis Scott is still signed to fucking Grand Hustle.
Oh no, my T.I. ain't gonna rap again.
Scott's his artist.
T.I. would never rap again.
He made plenty of money off of B.O.B. He was signed to Grand Hustle. And
T.I. would never rap again.
B.O.B. had an album that had like 3 number ones on it. Literally,
right, here's the crazy thing.
3 number ones on that album.
T.I. hit a like. So I'm just thinking about T.I. versus Gucci and Jeezy, right? Mm-hmm. Jeezy signed nobody we cared about.
By the way, Meek Mill was signed to Grand Hustle from 08 to 12.
And then he gave him to Ross.
They might have had it switch. I don't know.
Probably. Because I feel like
Rich Kids were signed to T.I. from 09 to 11. So that sounds like when they dropped What's
Rich
Up?
Kids, Schoolboy.
Yeah. And now that makes sense why Young Dro's on partner them. It sounds like to me T.I. made all the money he could off of them while they were hot too. I'm just saying.
Why he was on VH1 making shows?
Because they were fucking paying him. Do you blame him?
No, I'm not knocking him.
And it's not like his wife's a part of a subpar R&B group from the 2000s.
Was you outside when Platinum was outside?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm trying to think. Part of them, that's like 11th grade for me. So that was your senior year?
That's my senior year.
Yeah, it was like 11. Yeah, man. Come on, man.
I'm just talking shit. Hey, sometimes like I listen to some shit like this, and I really just like make my wife have to listen to all this shit. I like, see, baby, you wasn't outside. You was in California. Y'all was probably just like Lil B in the pack or some shit. Like y'all was to some bullshit.
Yeah, they were jerking, fucking.
Yeah. Y'all was jerking and dugging, and we was out here. We was out here turned up, wearing polos and big plaid shorts and Air Force Ones.
Niggas hitting stanky legs and shit. You know what I mean? Like
wearing Sperry's and Nike socks. I didn't do that, but y'all did that.
We did. I did. I definitely did. That's why when Josh was like, Josh went to public school, I was like, bro, I thought it was a private school. Here's the thing. We wore Sperry's to school because we had to.
Yeah, because y'all couldn't wear like regular shoes and shit like that.
This is what you could wear. You had 3 shoe options. You could wear white tennis shoes, all white, so you can't. So it's either some shell toes or some Air Force Ones or a K-Swiss, depending on your budget, your family household's budget. Lugs, that could be in it too. As long as they're all white, you're good. All white tennis shoes, Bucks. But you know what Bucks are, right?
Hell no.
Bucks are like a shoe. It's like what's the best way to describe it?
Terrible.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the Bucks, but you could wear Bucks because it was Bucks and Blazers. So when you had to wear the day you had to wear the blazer, you could wear Sperry's, but Sperry's, Bucks, white shoes, and then penny loaf. You could do penny loafers too. But they had to be brown.
So the shit niggas was wearing at Morehouse when they showed up freshman year. You confused, like, hey, bro, why you dress so nice?
Let me tell you what that experience did to me. And Jew and Josh can attest to this. I used to wear like, and you might have even noticed too. If you look back at the photo of us at the LSU Georgia game. Look at what pants or shorts I'm wearing. I used to wear nothing but khakis. I never wore jeans. Like
Here, hey, Parlay Pete. I wore jeans a little bit in college. I stopped towards the end.
I wear nothing but jeans now.
Dog, in my early 20s, I did not wear jeans. It took me being in San Diego to go, oh shit, bro, I gotta buy jeans. Like now I got like 8-9 pair of jeans, but like, bro, I didn't wear jeans. And I still don't wear shorts at night. And people be like, bro, it's hot outside. Bro, I'm 30. What the fuck I look like wearing shorts at night?
Khaki shorts?
Come on, bro.
You can wear khaki shorts with almost anything.
But you know, so
long sleeve tee, sweat.
Well, here's the thing though. Going out in Gaslamp with dress codes.
Well, yeah. If it came to something like that, sure.
Because like I don't like, especially before Josh moved out there, I was going out there solo dolo. So I'm going to where the wave is at. I ain't going to a spot because I like it. I'm looking for the hoes. Excuse me. I'm looking for the young ladies who are trying to be promiscuous with a guy they just met. And I was like, bro, I gotta have on some khakis. I gotta have on a shirt with a collar, and I can't wear my J's just so I can get into this spot if I decide to go there, which is what started Fuck Your Jordans. Because one day I went to a club, I couldn't get in because I had on Jordans.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
now was it a sneaker / tennis shoe ban, or what was?
No Jordans, no Timberlands. It was no Jordans, no Timberlands.
That's bullshit, bro.
Oh no. I'm
not calling you what you're saying. I'm just saying.
I argued with their manager how it was racist. They gave me free passes to get in, but like it was a club. It was upstairs hip hop, downstairs it was Latin.
That
so it was like
fuck.
So it fed the
what the fuck like.
It's like you asking
niggas ban boots and sneakers. Okay.
I'm okay with banning Tim's, bro. Like, why the fuck are you wearing Tim's in San Diego ever? It's never Tim's weather here.
What's the issue with wearing them either way? Even if it's a bad fashion look, who cares? Like,
it's nothing. But hey, we never talked about the best era of Atlanta rap. I will tell you the best era of Atlanta rap is 2010 to 2014, somewhere. And if you want to say 2009 to 2015, that era. Pretty much our college era.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the best era of rap because in that era of rap, I get rich kids.
Atlanta
rap. Yeah, I get rich kids. Travis Porter.
Now you said 10 to 14, so that's your 5-year span.
Yeah. I'm gonna say 9 to 15, but like if you want to like narrow, it's 10 to 14.
5 year. We gotta put it at 5 year. It's got to be a 5-year plan.
Well, give me 9 to 14 then. Fuck it.
Okay.
Or 10 to 15.
And I'm pretty much in the same boat as you.
Give me because here's what I get in that era. I still get a Jeezy who ain't shit because I still get a TM103. I get TM103. T.I. he wasn't putting out bullshit yet. I mean, he wasn't great. I still got a Paper Trail, and I got Travis Porter. I got Rich Kids. I got Gucci going crazy. You know what I'm saying? I got Jeezy. I already said Jeezy. I got Ludacris is still doing a little feature here and there where he ain't terrible.
Well, he had the album Battle of the Sexes. He had the My Chick Bad. Even though
but then he also did that one mixtape where he was talking some shit on it and he was actually killing. I forgot the name of that mixtape. It was like some Back to the Future shit. But then I still can get Future. I still got Migos. I still got Dro. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, that was the golden era of Atlanta hip hop, and maybe it's a golden era because that was when I was outside, and not only outside in Cartersville hearing the music, but I was also outside in Atlanta hearing Atlanta music. Like you hearing songs like 2 days after niggas like press send. You know what I mean? Like I thought Migos was global when I left Atlanta.
The shit
And then
wasn't
Bad
even on
Bougie
the
came
radio
out.
yet. It wasn't even on the radio yet, but if you went out, you could hear it. Or
they was on V103. We wouldn't even listen to the radio though.
I'm saying, well, right. I'm saying though, but I'm saying like it was you could go out and hear some shit and like it be still almost underground, basically.
Bro, Rocco. Like Rocco was mainstream to us in college.
Yeah. Oh, you get that aspect too. You get you don't even know, bro. That is still to me, you don't even know it goes down like
this morning.
We could put together a top 10 Atlanta. I'll tell you what, it doesn't have to be top 10 because I feel like that's always subjective anyway. Top 10 essential Atlanta tracks. And that could be an all-time list. Now that's something that everybody would have to, because you're gonna want to include certain songs that, and it might not be a top 10 song, but its importance to the culture and like why that song is so important to the city. Like no more playing GAs on that list, right?
Ain't Gonna Let Up.
You mean that's a top 10 Atlanta song in terms of sound?
Yola, Ain't Gonna Let Up.
Ain't Gonna Let. That's another song. That
shit still gets played today.
It's on the 10 essential list. That's what I'm saying. There are songs that in Atlanta's history, like for me, gosh, because if
don't even think about that. Hey, don't think about that list. We're gonna lead a podcast with that list.
Okay, we can do that. But that's another way, and that isn't even, that just is giving you the whole history, and that could go up until this year. You know what I mean? Possibly. I don't think that there's a song within the last 2 years that would be on that list. But
Road to Parks.
You put that in your essential. There's other Outkast songs I put over that. I think Sorry Miss Jackson might have been the most played fucking shit I can ever remember on the radio growing up. I swear. Yeah, that might be my Outkast song.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be Hey Y'all. I'm not counting like the pop shit. That's not essential to Atlanta. That's essential to pop for Atlanta history. That ain't essential to Atlanta.
Done it all.
Man, obviously, and I don't want to do too much on this, but it's just there. It literally has hit me. Like probably the last Atlanta song to be on the list, the most recent release song would be Bad and Bougie. I think that song is essential to the, like, I think that's a song that it's not only because it was actually popular because it went number one.
What's your blind? Need some glass of the sea.
Yeah. But you know, Shawty Love.
You can't make lists without this. And you gotta put Laffy Taffy on there.
Is this more? It is because of the beef. It is because of the beef too. Like, because think of that. Said you from the West Side. Well, God
damn, it must be two
sides. Like,
hold on, T.I. ain't from Bankhead. Oh, he from Riverdale. He from the South Side. Hold on.
But gosh, but even for T.I., 24s, like.
Yeah,
I don't know why that song sticks in my head, but it's just like burning, dro.
Bruh, dog. Yeah, you know what? I actually want to workshop this topic with you in person.
We have to, yeah, because this is
like we gonna
real. Because like I said, we're not naming the top 10 Atlanta songs. We're saying
so we got to spend
essential songs of the city.
We got to spend 3 hours on this topic, listen to all these songs again. Cause like you could also throw out the like Never Scared because that was like
I would
that's
though.
T.I. That's T.I. like being like I ain't mad, just don't kiss no ass and take shit. I'm a grown man, find you somebody to play with. You don't like me when you see me, they're not say shit. I choke your ass out like Dre did that. Like bro, I'm getting shivers thinking about that verse.
I'm a Bankhead nigga.
I take your cookies. And then Shawty Low said, "You from the West Side? Goddamn, must be two sides." You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on.
And it would be hard to even get a guy like Gucci. What song would you, because he's got to have one that's essential.
Yeah, Gucci.
What are you going to throw on there, though? I mean, I know that for me, I think that, like, and most people might not agree. I mean, it's either I'm a Dog or like Tommy Lee and Pamela, I'm fucking on the camera.
It got to be Icy. Gotta be Icy.
Yeah, okay, and that's fair too.
And that it shouldn't be that, but it got to be icy because that is hello Gucci Man, Jeezy's mainstream. Hey, bro, I need you to carry this conversation because I got to tinkle.
Go take that. There are just so many tracks that you could place on a list like that, and we will get to that later in the podcast. Well, not this podcast, but later on down the line for another podcast. But when you really look at the Atlanta rap landscape, I hear you, Lee, with the best era being 09 to 14. I think that's a pretty accurate call. I think if you're doing it based on that's not 5 years. That would be 6. So I'm going to have to disqualify him on that. It's got to be 5 years. But or maybe you said 10 to 14. 10 to 14 is a good period. I think that's a good way to look at it. I would probably throw it back a year and do the 09 to 13. Maybe even 08 to 12, really. But probably 08 to 12. That would be pretty much where I do it. It's unfortunate you get caught where you don't really you get mixtape Future, the early mixtape Future. You don't get Monster. You don't get any of that other stuff. But
you gotta be a dime piece just to look at the rocks in my timepiece. And
that, like I said, that song definitely probably goes on the list. But see, for me, even
White Tee walking out.
I know, Laffy Taffy, bro. As crazy as that shit's on.
No, that's on.
You're, you know what I mean? But even with Jeezy, man, what about fucking Trap or Die? You know what I mean?
You got Trap or Die. You got Air Forces.
You could even, but you could even if you didn't want to go that route. Let's say you wanted to even go mainstream, bro. Soul Survivor can even get thrown on the like when you think about, bro, that shit sounds like a fucking movie score when you hear that Akon and Young Jeezy. And look, you want to know who we're leaving out? And maybe because think about it, I guess I said rap, or maybe I just said 10 essential Atlanta song. You've got Usher.
After the Night. Oh, you talking about? Watch this.
Yeah, all right. You got Confession, but is now.
You got, hold on. You got fuck. Yeah. You got Confessions. You got 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top.
See, but for me, my favorite Usher song personally was always "You Don't Have to Call," but that's because I thought Pharrell murders the beat.
My favorite Usher song is either "My Way" or "Burn."
Burn's great, especially when the Boondocks.
Yeah. Dog, we didn't even bring in Lil Jon.
I know. Well, bro, then he said to the window. My mom used to fucking.
To the one to the wall. You got what else you got? You got the one song that the Alpha strolled to.
That might not be on the 10 Essentials, but B.I.B.I. You got, bro. I mean, even with the guy like Scrap.
Yeah.
In the Bank. I mean, you got Throw It Up by Lil Jon. That was one. And then we're really,
you did say Throw It Up, didn't you?
I did. But you know who we're really disrespecting?
College Park. We forgot about Youngbloods too.
You got Southern Hospitality. I mean, you could go a couple of different routes with Luda.
Bro, we forgot about Damn.
Damn.
That has to be on there.
Oh, you're saying about Luda?
No, nigga, not by Luda.
Damn. Oh, Lil Jon.
Come on, bro.
Man, Roll Out though by Ludacris too.
Roll Out a Move Bitch.
Move Bit. I mean, I love Stand Up too. And Kanye produced that. Stand Up, doom doom doom,
Oh, I thought you was talking about T.I. You don't like what I'm saying, then buzz swing when you see me. We can throw them hand suckers.
Stand Up.
Yeah. We got to workshop this in person, but we
This
also,
one, this one might need to be expanded to 20. Seriously, because
I think we need to expand to 20, but we need to bring some guests in for this one.
Yeah, no, for sure.
We need Juicy.
We got to get Jew, and I want one more guy though. Or we can even get a woman. I'm just trying to think of an Atlanta person whose opinion I can not only respect, but I know will be able to truly argue why a certain song. Because we're leaving all people like, okay, for me, we already know Crime Mob, Knuck If You Buck is on that list, bro. That's on the list. Like that's on the list. Like you can't leave that off. It's just it's too essential. And like I said, we're not talking about
calling me. Right, remember Dave Chappelle did that shit with the Lil Jon. They calling me. You're like, come on, bro.
It's a long list of. I mean, even for me, bro. Even T.I. He's got so much history, bro. What you know about that, bro? That shit was an anthem because when ATL the movie came out, first of all, it's like the lead single. He got the new Escalade. Don't you know I got 3 by the keys?
Bro, I remember my 8th grade formal, and that shit came on. And at that age, you ain't never turned up in no suit before. And then I remember that shit came on. I'm in that bit bobbing, like rapping the whole song, sweating through my suit for the first time in my life.
And only because we're still just touching on the topic too. There are newer songs that have their place to potentially be argued to be on that list. Like, hold on, because to me, for Little Baby, for instance, it'd be Freestyle. Shout out my name, that's me. I'm in this bitch with 3P. To me, that's it's worked itself up to where that could easily.
If I go to karaoke tonight,
included.
If I go to country and get karaoke tonight, this will get played. But I ain't going because I didn't drink too much already.
Turn it up a little bit.
That's me. I'm in this bitch with TB. I'm in this bitch with 4 tray. I just pulled up me a A. Real nigga all in my face. 500 racks in my safe. 500 racks to the.
What you know about showing love?
That nigga be rapping.
I think he's overrated personally, but that's just my opinion of him in general. I think he's overrated, but that song is great. Like that's his best song in my opinion. But it also is an essential song. Bro, we leaving out Killer Mike. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah.
Don't. Yeah. Yo.
Yeah, man. The history is so rich here.
Here's a song that won't make the list, but I used to love it. I don't love it no more.
Yeah, this isn't on that.
No, it's just a song I love.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna play it.
Thug. What else? I mean, okay, and then here's an obvious one, honestly, that got left off. But of course, it's no way you don't put it on the list, even if it's towards the end. Welcome to Atlanta. I mean, what the fuck? How the fuck could you leave off Jermaine Dupri?
It ain't nothing to cut that bitch off.
He's got his place in Atlanta lore. He'd be a little. That is a big. I think because of when we were in college, in high school, like that. I mean, at this point, get Josh on here and let him tell us what's the most essential Rich Homie Quan song.
Bro, yeah, we ain't talked about Rich Homie.
An essential of Atlanta. I done did a lot of shit just to live this here lifestyle. Like, does Shoulder Lane get in there? Do we throw Unk in there for Walk It Out or Two Step? These are questions that really need answers because that's a part of the snap era, right? Basically, Two Step. Now going 2 step, like niggas. Now get jiggy with it. Like it really, it's going down. I mean, the fuck, bro.
Bro, we didn't forget about Jock. Cause Jock got some.
It's going down. That's a
yeah.
Do you throw? I mean, fuck, bro. I mean, for even look at somebody like Waka. Does No Hands or Oh Let's Do It get to grace that list?
It's in the conversation.
And even for Future.
You know what this song used to do.
You bring back a lot of memories. You bring back a lot of memories with this stuff.
Bro, you know what that shit used to do right there.
What?
Do it.
Yes.
You know what that used to do.
Dude, yeah. This one doesn't get on the list. I think it's going down, gets on the list before. Here.
Well, yeah. I just don't. Nobody wants to hear that.
Are you able to hear? Hold on, let me see. Hold on.
That's on the list. All right, bro. This is worse than making the NBA top 5.
It's this, but see. So that's what. Oh, let's do it possibly.
Bro. Hard in the paint. Shit.
This might not even for Jeezy on his track record. And you gotta think what makes that song so special too. That was Kanye's first verse since his mom.
His mama died, and that's where he went crazy.
Yeah, man, and nobody knew, you didn't know he was on the record until you hear Yeezy, and it's like, holy shit. And he's got the auto-tune setting up to release Lemonade. So honestly, if it would depend on this essential list, you'd almost have to set it up to where you really almost have to have 2 lists. I'm about
to call Jew right now.
You have to have the street list, and then you've got to have the for all intents and purposes, the club list. And the clubs and the streets kind of combined, but like there is a difference.
See,
where do we get to go? I'll let you like, hello?
Hey, Jew, you're on the podcast with Big Baby and Parlay Pete. Hey, what's happening?
What's up, man? What's going on?
Hey, dog, we're talking about the top Atlanta.
What's going on, you black bastard?
We're talking about the top Atlanta songs, and we're going to do like a full podcast dedicated to that, where we would check your schedule to make sure that you're there for the podcast.
I love that.
Well, you have to
give us some songs you think that's going to make the list off the top of your head.
Now we're not. Wait, Jude. Now we're not. The list is not the 10 best because that's a subjective thing to say the best. We're going to do either a top 10 or top 20 essential Atlanta songs. That to me is not as subjective. That's more objective.
No.
The 10, they're not. They might not be the 20 best songs in Atlanta history, but they are the most influential.
Shit like Yola Lit Up. You have to play that song.
Yeah. Yola. Yeah. So we're gonna play Yola. We're gonna play things like Welcome to Atlanta, the first version and the second and the remix. We're gonna play
Jude, let me give you an example. Wait, let me give you an example. We said, for instance, for somebody like Shawty Low, right? I'm thinking more of They Know, right? But no, it's really done because
it's done.
Yeah, because when that shit come on, every nigga in the club who ain't getting no pussy, these bitches, we done fucked them all.
Yeah, we do. They're gonna say religiously. They're gonna say the unity.
What makes this song an essential is you say you from the West Side. Well, goddamn, it must be 2 sides.
It must be 2 sides. I mean, you're gonna play that. You're gonna play T.I. You Don't Know Me. You Don't Know Me. You're gonna play you don't know me. That's 24. No, we don't.
You know what?
But that's. Yeah, I would love to be part of that.
Hey, I think we should record this in person the week of the Falcons Steelers game. Because we'll all be in Atlanta that weekend. Because I know Juice coming that weekend.
What date is that?
Hey, Chris, pull the schedule.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
It's like
only reason I asked is because unfortunately I have prior commitments to the Navy for about 3 months at the end of the year. So,
Ooh.
Oh, you might not.
Yeah.
If we play you guys December 4th.
December 4th? Nope, I don't get back to December 15th. Nope.
Okay, we'll probably do it before then, virtually. Then, fuck.
But I'll already have my $500 bet in that the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, you should put that bet in.
He doesn't even know who. I mean, I guess for all intent, we don't know who our quarterback's going to be. This guy doesn't even know who his quarterback's going to be on that.
Bro, we have not brought the Falcons this whole podcast, and we're at an hour and 50 minutes.
Oh well, I'm happy that I could interject some nonsense that I can see, you guys' life. But yeah, let's set it up. I'm kind of in the middle of something, boys, but let's set it up, and I'll be more than happy to give you my insight on what makes Atlanta.
All right, bet that. We'll talk about it in the group text, and we'll get something set up. All right, bro. I'm gonna holler at you.
All right.
Yep.
All right, brother.
Lemonade, Gucci shoes.
Oh, okay, Gucci, shut up. Hey, is there anything worse than a woman scorned? Maybe bad credit.
A school shooter, but when it comes to people committing non-violent things, no, I don't know if it gets worse. And honestly, I'll play devil's advocate, even though I'm not a woman. I'm sure that a bitter or hurt man is on the same level.
I don't.
A hurt man will do everything to almost harass a woman. If they want to get back with them, but she keeps saying no, and they just keep going and going. I'm sure that could be really bad too. I've never been that, but I have seen men do it, and it is the shit's pathetic. It's pathetic.
Weird. It's weird when you watch it.
Well, it's pathetic because it's anytime that I've ever tried to apologize in a relationship that I've been in, I'm like, man, I'll make sure I never get to that point. Because if you just don't accept my apology, then it is 8 billion people in the world. I can't be hung up on one. Can't do that.
And the worst part is seeing a man apologize for cheating, and she don't want to talk to him no more, and he's begging for attention. It's like, hey, bro, you shouldn't have got caught cheating, dummy.
Well, more importantly, if you were able to cheat, that sounds like you've got plenty still out here. You need to probably just indulge a little bit more into that, or you should have never cheated. I mean, there's no in between, no in between with that.
So, question: a woman scoring came up in our group text, and you had a really, really, vivid response to it, getting into it, and the group did not allow the conversation to take the wings that it could have, and I didn't allow it to happen.
That's what I was talking about.
Huh?
I said because everybody kept trying to guess.
Yeah. I think they lost sight of what you were actually saying, and I wasn't gonna push you to it. I'm like, we're doing a podcast in 2 days. We'll talk about it on the pod. So, can you kind of go back and educate everybody on what you said, and then explain why you said it?
Well, so I'll say it this: why it came up. There were multiple reasons why it kind of came up. One, I was at a bar eating a sub, and there's Elliott. I hate to get free promo here, but Elliott Street Pub, some of the best subs in the city, right down the street here from Mercedes-Benz. Going there, getting kind of guess you could call it dinner. I got in there at about 7:30. That's dinner time.
Yes, dinner time.
Went in there, enjoyed a beer, couple shots, and I got my deli sub. And there was a lady that came in. She was probably, white women age so. I'm gonna be honest. All right, let me give you an age range. She was between 36 and 25.
Thank you for the details. I really can narrow it down.
I know it's even harder. It was hard for me too. I mean, because I didn't ask her age, but regardless, she sits down next to me, and she's asking me about the sub and all this other stuff. Then we get to talking, but then she starts bringing up things about another man to me. Now, I am a patron at this. I go there semi-regularly. The people there know who I am. I just want to enjoy my sub. Plus, JP was actually getting ready to be on his way there once he got off. And so he's talking to me, and then it brought to my attention too, when I get on Instagram, I'm not going to single out one person. There are multiple women that I see, and multiple meaning it could be just 2, it could be 10, and then on occasion it could be more than 2, it could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It could be.
I'm gonna let him be PC, and I'm gonna be a misogynist man bear pig when he gets done. Okay.
And so there are a lot of scorned women out here, basically, because the way that she was talking about this guy, it seemed like every time a conversation would start about a new topic, somehow, some way, she was able to put her hurt into it. And it stemmed from a bad relationship or what a man did to her or what multiple men did to her. And it's like you're talking to a man. And I don't know if her point was to be like, well, on behalf of the men race, let me apologize to you. You should come to my house. I live down the street. You should suck my dick, and then I can get added to the list. I don't know where she was trying to go with it. I really didn't. And I just wanted to enjoy myself. And she was there. They do a concert. They do like live music in the basement of the restaurant. I wasn't going to be attending, but that's why she was there, because she was there to meet people. I guess she got there before them. And so there was that, but then it brought me to some of the things I see on Instagram, because I don't use Facebook, and I have a burner Twitter that I literally use for like news. So like I don't really have a Twitter. Like I don't tweet people. I don't follow anyone. I don't even follow the news that I want to see. Like I just search it. And so
Kevin Durant with a Twitter.
Yeah. And so so long story short, get on Instagram. You see all these women, they'll put up these posts, whether they're Justin LeBoy reposts or some bitch they know, and excuse my language, but bitch that they know, or it could be some fucking nigga that they know that's a simp, or I'm not even going to call him a simp, a guy out here that probably doesn't know. I could say a lot of stuff that might get me in trouble. A guy out here that doesn't know what he wants in life either, and he might put it up in order to be bait for women. And
guys do that. These simp ass niggas, they be posting stuff.
I mean, they might be a bias, and it's nothing wrong with that, guys. But it could be a bisexual dude that's typing this up, really talking about a man, but puts it out in the preference of where it's a woman talking to a man, or a woman,
or it's a simp
that's fucking typing it,
or it's a simp that's trying to be a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's that, and you get to see enough of this daily on Instagram because, for the most part, and honestly, I know with you got this platform, of course. You're somebody that posts every day, but there are people that post every day. I am not one of them, but there are women.
I hate it.
But there are women specifically that post this type of content on a daily basis, and it's just like, man, let the hurt go. I don't know what that man did to you, or maybe your girl. Let me be, because obviously we got to open up everything for everybody. I don't know what that person, that human being, that dog, whatever you're into, I don't know what they did to you, but let it go. Let it go. Why are you putting up this stuff of, your talk? And these could all be true statements that are getting put up or whatever, but why don't you just go do it? What is the point of putting this stuff up? It's kind of like we joke about it in our group, and nobody's did it in a minute, but we'll put up the motivational drop a black heart to receive your 100, to anoint yourself with the $100 million lifestyle that you're going to achieve by next year. And we'll do it on some dumb shit, but it's like somebody could really put that up and we get the motivational purpose behind it. But what is really, like, why do you keep doing this? Why don't you just go do it? What is the idea of doing these work? Do you think that it's going to have an effect on somebody to see something that you're putting up? Like, what are we really getting at? And with the Scorned Woman, they're putting up that type of content, but for scorned women, to these niggas ain't shit. It could be, I have a child and I don't need a man. I mean, these ridiculous like things to just put out in public for everybody to say.
You talk about the ones who be like, I could be Lori, but I could never be Rashida.
Yeah, stuff like that. But that's not even the real spectrum of the Scorned Woman I'm talking about.
Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
But see,
Let that hurt go, sis.
But the difference is that these women are frozen in the time period of their scorned.
Man, look, Parlay Pete. Let me tell you how much I love you, man. Because you really hopped into like my pocket of material, content, right? And like everything you were saying, I'm sitting there like, oh man, you know how? Have you seen Little Giants? You remember how like Spike's dad's holding him back because Spike is ready to go crazy when Danny O'Shea shows up to the house?
Yeah.
That's how I feel right now because, yo, Scorned Women. Let me tell you something about Scorned Women. Scorned Women, you exist because life sucks. And guess what? A lot of the reasons that you exist is because of scorned men. You know why? Because life sucks. And when we talk about fuck bitches get money over bitches, money over hoes, you know what I'm saying? Like bros over bitches, like all that stuff that like gets perpetuated in men's culture. None of it's true. Like, I'll be honest with you. I don't know a guy who does not want to have sex every night. I'll be real with you. And by me saying not having sex every night, it's not just saying it's about the sex. I'm willing to say that all of my friends want a meaningful connection with somebody else of the gender or sex that they're attracted to. I'm not going to assume that all of my friends are straight because that would be misogynistic. You know what I mean? But like at the end of the day, like everybody want to have somebody. And the great thing I love about my friend group, especially the locker room, I think we have a great mix of people who are at different phases in that, but also understand what works for them. And we're old enough and experienced enough to be like, yeah, she cute. She got some good box, but this will never work. And I will treat her as such. Or as, hey, because you know there's somebody in your life who you were skeptical about crossing that boundary with because you know what it could be. Boundary was crossed. We haven't had a follow-up conversation about how that could make you feel. But I know that there's a door that could be opened if the situation was right. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right.
And that doesn't stop how you move with other people right now because that door is closed today. But if that door opens next week, you could change how you move. Because I've seen you change how you move given different situations in your life. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that one thing that scorned women definitely need to understand that, hey, I'm not that nigga who fucked you over. I'm not him. Am I capable of that? Absolutely, because I'm me. Like part of what made you interested in me is what I did outside of you. To understand that him still exists. He's there. But I don't want to be him. But I'm not that guy who fucked you over, so don't treat me like I'm him. And what I'm seeing from my peers and my friends is as we start to settle down or we don't settle down, it goes back to a lot of us have let that hurt go and we know what we want and we know what we need. So we're looking for that. So when we don't get that, we dog you. And maybe that's our hurt speaking, but like me dogging you and letting you know I'm gonna dog you, that's coming from a place of convenience because I like to come inside something that's not my hand.
This is an example of, it's really the reverse aspect of it. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Well, a lot of men, I think, have had done unto them what they didn't want, so they did it unto others. Like, if that makes any sense.
Bro,
And
yeah, most of us were innocent.
This comes from men. They could have put in so much time, did everything right. And it's like there could be a chick that fucks a dude who's not doing anything, doesn't care about her, but a guy does all this, they do all this. And even, maybe that girl wasn't interested necessarily, or woman, let me not say girl. That woman wasn't interested, but she was because she played and acted as if she was. And so because of that, a guy can do the same thing on the flip side. They could find a chick that likes them, and there might be a quality that they like about that woman, whether that be prior to having sex and they're like, man, she got a fat ass, or the lips look like they
Yeah, I mean,
like, or I don't know, she's got money. Like, I could have fun with this. It could be anything in that spectrum of stuff. And that person be dating, and then they take advantage of that because they're like, all right, well, we can go out and do this. And then the girl wants to give it up, and you want it too. You fuck her. Then at that point, you're like, all right, well, it wasn't even bad. I'll hit you up whenever. I guess I want to have sex. But outside of that, I already know nothing's going to work here. I'm going to use you to my advantage because somebody else did it to me.
Hey, right. You want to hear interesting conversation?
By the way, I am not talking about myself, but I've seen it too.
Hey, I'll tell you something.
It has, to a degree, it actually has happened to all of us too. But
let me tell you something about myself that I'm comfortable sharing on my podcast, right? When I met my wife, I was looking to go through a mid-20s, late 20s. I was 27 when we met. I was looking to go through a late 20s whole phase. That was my plan.
Mm-hmm.
And the day we met, I was trying to add her to my whole phase. And she had no interest in being a part of my whole phase at all. So I said, okay, you're cool. Great convo. But I'm trying to hit some skins, bump some uglies.
All right.
So I'm going to kick it with you when I see you because I enjoy you. But understand, nigga trying to hit the streets and live. So what did I do? Hit the streets. I met her in October. I didn't get a date until March. And part of the reason why I didn't get a date was because I was trying to go through that whole phase. No, fuck it. I was going through that whole phase. And I wasn't discreet. I was discreet about who, but I wasn't discreet about what. So like the people like in the circle knew, yo, Adam trying to bust guts. That's what he's here for. And, as we started hanging out, she was like, I was hesitant to hang out with you because I heard this about you, I heard that about you. And like, I don't even feel like that's true. And I go, no, it's true. It's just not true for you. Because when I introduced myself to you, when I expressed my attraction to you, you like created boundaries. You're like, yeah, no, we can hang out. We can hang out in a group, but you can't just take me on a date. Like, I don't know you like that.
Lee, and I don't mean to put an interlude into this, but because we've already been doing it with music and you did the Frozen Let It Go, I have to throw in the song that clearly this is what this tells me when she said that to you. Straight from Albany, Georgia. And that's basically what
But that was our dynamic, right? But then once she and I discussed like
they dated on that, all of this fiction, none of it that.
And then like when we discussed what we wanted from one another, and then she started asking me certain questions, I was like, yeah. I didn't try to fuck her because I knew y'all were close to each other in a relationship. And I still had interest in you, and I didn't want to burn that bridge before I had the opportunity to cross it, right?
Right.
But now, again, never put a name or a face to anything that I ever done, but like, oh, that should have happened over there. that I knew wouldn't be in our other circle over here because we had a bunch of mutual friends. Oh yeah, no, I did that. But part of that whole thing is like, yo, I done been through what I done been through. I done been hurt by the people I've been hurt by. So I just can't sit here and stop doing some shit I want to do. But because you've gone through what you've gone through, you've been hurt by who you've been hurt by, you don't want to just throw yourself into this because you see an idea of what I'm living, but without adding context.
I'm sorry.
You good.
The tinkle.
But without adding context to it, there's not that understanding that, hey, I'm living this life because of the circumstances that I'm in. Think about it, man. Do you think a man who's worth, let's just say $100,000, or a guy who makes $65,000, $70,000 a year would live in a cardboard box? No. He'd have an apartment. Or he may have a house depending on where he lives at and depending on how good his credit is and how much he saved, right? But he'd have somewhere to live. Same thing. So often because, let me talk to women. So often because you women have been cheated on by the guy you were with before the next guy, you think because this guy gets around and has fun that he's doing that because that's who he is and that's what he does. But without properly contextualizing it, it's like, hey, yeah, bro, that man lives in a fucking cardboard box because he's poor. That guy is out here running the streets, messing with all these different women because he's single. But once that poor guy finds the job, finds the means to maintain the lifestyle that he wants to live, he lives it, and he lives it properly. Just like when that single guy finds the woman that he wants, that he needs, that allows him to live the life that he wants to live, he gets out the streets and he comes home and he takes care of his woman. But don't let that hurt get in the way of you seeing that. Because, yo, I couldn't be your guy until I was your guy. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't do the things that make you happy. Like think about this shit, Parlay Pete. Imagine a woman getting upset with you for something that you did before you owed her any type of commitment. Like, how could you dare fuck her?
Honestly, it's a great way to even know if that's even somebody you can deal with. Because if you're gonna be upset, we're not even together. Now, you could be you could be single but seeing someone, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I know that, and I've seen this stuff on your Twitters and your Instagrams where people like to call it what it's called dating, all this, that, and the third. Everybody's, and that's what makes us uniquely ourselves. Everybody has a different way of doing things. And so, like, I know that for me, if I have sex with somebody, it's going to be one of those things where I don't necessarily, I mean, hell, I don't fuck people in the past where I wasn't dating them at all. I just had sex with them. Like, and I know that sounds kind of hoish,
but you're not Mr. One Nighter either, though.
Yeah, unless it just
no. I'm not saying that you won't do it, and you and I are similar. That we go single us, we'll go outside the house, looking to have a good time, and if the women make sense, the night makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But the pussy will never just define our night out.
Correct. It could be trash, honestly. Like, I might not like it, and I'll still potentially hang out, like, depending on how I met you, where or whatever, or if you had company with you two that I was like, you know, y'all are cool. Like, I don't mind hanging out with you. Like,
no, think about how many fun nights.
Yeah, even though I might not have thought it was good, I still got my nut bust. So, like, I might be inclined to do it again. I don't know. We don't know. Or maybe you had an off night. We cannot judge people. Look, if the top NBA prospect played a game and he had an off day the day that I came to scout him. Does that really mean I don't want him? No.
Man, hold on. Yeah, you open it up something because judging someone off of your first sexual encounter to like try to speak to what their sexual prowess is crazy. Like it is absolutely crazy.
There's one thing that I will judge. I'm not gonna lie, and it's only because, and it might seem very minute,
okay,
but it is something that tells me a lot. If I kiss you and you don't know how to kiss, now I know there's an issue.
That's different.
I'm sure you've had a bad kissing experience where you've kissed somebody, you're like, man, this is it in a weird way. It makes the connection not seem like there's any at all. Like, we can't even get on rhythm to fucking tongue each other down. I'm like, oh no.
I've met a good number of chicks who can't kiss. I've met a lot of trash kissers.
That use teeth.
Huh?
I had some that use teeth in the kissing, so I already knew what the hell was gonna be like. Like in the kissing. It's
right.
Like, why is your
let me tell you what, bro. Nothing's worse than kissing a chick and being like, bro, that rando whose name I don't know that I drunkenly made out with on a dance floor last night, kiss circles around you. Full disclosure, I lived in San Diego for 3 years where making out with randoms is a thing.
Justice, not to throw his business out there, I mean, we all saw it. Justice made out with somebody at one of those spots Josh likes going to.
Do not give Josh credit for any of those spots because everything Josh learned, he learned from me.
Hey, Mr. Holsey was somebody we should have got on this podcast too.
You want me to call him?
Why not? We're already on the subject of scorned women, and he's Mr. Scorner himself. He's the fucking Human Torch in the Fantastic Four. If that was our group.
And here's the thing: he's expecting a phone call from me, so he may answer. Yeah, we got to talk about Candace Owens. But I called him last night. He was like,
we can throw him in on that too.
Yeah, we're going long today, and I'm loving it.
That's okay.
Hey, Josh.
Broadcast.
Hey, Josh.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any message.
Oh, what a fuck. What a fuck. Well, no, like we were at backyard where your brother met that chick. And I mean it worked out for him because he did.
He ended up spending essentially the entire time with her.
And here's the thing, he did what none of us would do. None of us would have given up the day with the bros just to tap that ass. And don't get me wrong, she was cute. Like I mean, I would have fucked her.
You saw it, yeah.
I mean, like I was single then that day. So like I would have if I would have met her, if I would have been him, I would have fucked her. But like the way she came to the table was scary though, because she was just like, hey, how you guys doing?
Be known that who wants to step up to the plate?
And it's like,
and Justice is like, you know what? None of these other niggas seem to be taking it serious. Matter of fact, I tell you what, I said, so what you gonna do? Almost like he was testing her. He's like, I'll bring the same energy as you. Now what?
Yeah, bro. Like he really did what we wouldn't do because we were invested in the guys trip together.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, I'm out of town. I'm trying to hit some ass.
Well, and even for him, he can even kind of look at it this way. He's just like, well, even though obviously y'all are friends with him too, he's just like, well, Pierce, really, you're their friend, and we're all friends, but they're your friends, technically.
Yeah, exactly.
So he can be like, I'll catch y'all later. Like,
and that's what I was thinking. I'm like, yeah, bro, like Justice is definitely our friend. He's definitely part of the crew, but because of his age, like there's a he's still your little brother to most niggas in the crew.
He only got to experience, and I brought Justice around when he was in high school. Even when I was a freshman, he was a junior. He came down for some stuff, but like,
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
he came to Purdue parties.
But you got to think about it. Yeah, like the 1 year that he was at Morehouse, you were a senior.
Yeah.
So, and then the next year we were senior. Like my class was senior. So like a lot of his hanging out came when we were in high school, when he was in high school anyway. You know, and then
like
college, we all, were hanging out more.
Yeah, but like, I mean, Justice was coming to parties where people were purposely trying to get him as drunk as possible because he was your little brother.
Yeah.
And that's, I was listening to some Charleston White talk today, and he talked about how niggas did stuff back in the day that's obviously not acceptable now. Cause he was talking about like the R. Kelly sex tape. How? Yeah, bro. Everybody watched that tape. Like, yeah, that's child pornography today, but that shit was running. Everybody was going out and watching that shit.
Bro, it's so funny because literally while I was with my daughter and Couture, we we got pizza. I think it was 2 days ago. Slice of pizza, decent little spot over there in Grant Park, by the way. They do it by the slice. Great pizza. Anyways, went and then we got back and we watched that episode of the Boondocks because it's like the second or the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
And the craziest thing when you revisit something like that specifically, R. Kelly, it really did break it down kind of what was going on, even because the Boondocks came out in what, 07, 06?
Mm-hmm.
Is that about right? 06,
Yeah.
07? And that happened in like 02, 03.
Bro, this is legitimate.
I love
Jay-Z.
this song too, by the way. I'm sorry.
Huh?
I love this song.
Me too.
Not guilty. Yeah, bro.
But like, come on, bro. Like, this like
and,
y'all can't come out here and say Jay-Z is the voice.
Get the fuck out of here.
You can't say Jay-Z is the voice of woke Black America, and then he put this out. Nope. And they went on tour. But hey,
they did 2 albums together.
Yeah, I know.
I'm saying. But then again,
I mean,
was the top R&B act, and Jay-Z was the top rap act. So I see why he did it. The money was there, that's for sure.
And Jay-Z and Beyonce are 12 years apart too, so it don't look that bad today. But
well, she's doing Me Too checks on her new album. So anyone that's got a history,
yeah, did she do it on her husband?
I don't know. Considering he worked with R. Kelly when that stuff was out, and then that's no shot at Hove. I mean, I know why Jay did it. Jay did it because R. Kelly's talented, and at the end of the day, just like in the song you were kind of previewing there, R. Kelly wasn't found guilty.
Do you hear this nigga singing right now? Nigga, that is motherfucking.
It's a good song.
Nigga, that is sweet. That is a soft, sweet pear. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit just tastes so good. Like, that's watermelon on a hot summer day that your grandmama made, bro. Like I don't give a fuck how you feel.
Watermelon that you're eating with a spoon,
bro. No seeds.
Yeah.
But it ain't a seedless watermelon.
I just did something with you. This nigga Lee just had a fucking flashback. It was like, hell yeah.
Oh, but nigga, I'm telling you, like, this, like, R. Kelly singing, bro, and I'm not talking about R. Kelly the person. I never talk about R. Kelly the person because I don't know him, but from everything they say about him, he's terrible. But when that nigga gets to singing, come on, man. Like, hold on, bro. Like, let me play my shit. Let me play my favorite R. Kelly joint, which probably should be my favorite R. Kelly joint, but it is.
Is it Step in the Name of Love, or is it the remix to Ignition?
After the party, it's the hotel lobby.
After the Belly, then it's probably Chris. After the original, it's probably P.S. My remix with the homie from the Midwest.
You know,
when that nigga come in singing though, that shit is crazy, bro. Like, I'm sorry, bro. This nigga can sing, and he wrote some really good songs, even though he can't write.
And then you got this too. Come on, you know this.
Come to my hotel. Yeah, he talking to a little 13-year-old freaky ass.
You'll get fucking burned at the stake if you play this in the wrong vicinity of certain people. Bro. You can be at a cookout. Somebody is really going to take issue with you if you play R. Kelly. Like, because we have to delete this person from history. Like does Penn State delete their national championship because Joe Pa was the coach, and he potentially now he fucking died. We will never know if Joe Pa actually knew. The thought is he probably did.
No. He knew and he reported it, and they didn't do shit about it. And he just didn't fire him.
He didn't fire him, and then, if I'm not mistaken, he didn't even report it to the police. He reported it to the AD, and the AD ultimately didn't.
Yeah, like niggas got mad at Joe Pa because Joe Pa didn't turn it over. Hey,
kill that man because he fucking got fired and he died a couple months afterwards.
Hey,
nigga been coaching for 50 years.
Are you coming to my wedding reception?
Have you sent the invite? Yes, I mean absolutely.
Yeah, nigga, I know, nigga, we don't have a fucking date yet, cause
well, duh.
Yeah. Nigga, I know, like. We're not having groomsmen, but if we had them, you'd be one. But no, the thing is, my wife is like, we're playing seven.
Y'all aren't gonna do groomsmen and
no groomsmen, no bridesmaids.
Why? Out of curiosity.
Because she wanted to do that, and that made it easier for me because I have more friends than her. So I didn't want to have to make a cut, so I didn't push back.
And dude, then she only got 3, and then you got to do let me get 3 guys.
Yeah, bro. And like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like my Cartersville friends, they get real like defensive over their position in my life, and I be like, "Hey, yeah, I love y'all niggas, but like, I talk to Pierce for 2 hours every fucking week on a podcast.
Well, and then daily,
like fuck. No. I'm not saying like fuck the daily shit that we do. And before my wife moved here, I'm coming up there once, twice a month, and we're kicking it. Like, you know what I'm saying? 2 weekends a fucking week, a month. And it's like, brother, we communicate so much, but we also like talk about so much stuff. Like that nigga like jumped so many levels of like closeness because of we have similar interests that I'm sorry, bro. Like, I still love you. I don't hate you, but like,
let me tell you, one of the hardest parts about the day I get married is gonna be, even for me. I have 5 brothers too. That groom's it's gonna be so long.
Let me tell you what. I would say pick the brothers because nobody can ever get mad about that, right?
But they're naturally gonna be in it. But I gotta get some of my boys too. I can't.
So like,
I can't have a wedding and not have them. Like, I'm sorry, but whomever it is I marry, they're gonna have to get the list together, man, because I can't. I already got 5 brothers, and so
you met my cousin TJ, right?
I have 1 fucking sister, bro, to where at least it's like, all right, well, there's 4 brothers. No, nigga, it's 5 of us. Well, 6 total.
You remember my cousin TJ? He came to the Philly game.
Yes.
First game. He's my best man, no matter what.
Right.
We're first cousins. We're 2 years apart. We're like brothers. And the crazy thing is, me and his younger brother are closer now because his younger brother's 7 years younger than me. But like,
okay.
My senior year of high school.
Is this the same cousin that has the sister that the girl cousin that you text, like when you put like your girl cousin like said this? No, they're not.
No.
It's on.
No. So you remember? So the day we was at Hooters when Justice was ready to fight that nigga with the gun. The young nigga that was with me.
Yeah.
That's his younger brother.
Okay.
But me and that nigga, my senior year of high school, I like lived with them to babysit him because their mom went to work at like 5 a.m. every day. So I was supposed to wake his ass up, which I never did. He used to wake me up every morning, but I got paid for it. Shout out to America and capitalism. Like through that, me and him got kind of close. But then as he got older, like we would just talk. Me and that little nigga talk. Like I hit him up about, hey, bro, me and my wife going through this problem. Think about this with your girlfriend before you get married. And not to say not to get married. It's really on some like, hey, bro, your daddy ain't gonna tell you he went through this shit. Cause I mean, fuck it. I'll tell him the podcast. I talk to my wife about it, bro. Bro, I be going out with like a wedding ring on. And honestly, bro, I would rather go out without my wedding ring on than go out with my wedding ring on because of the way I get treated when I go out. Like, it's really like annoying how many women be trying to like get at me when I'm out now with a wedding ring prior to getting married. It's like, yo, shorty, I I don't want to fuck you. Like, besides the fact I'm not attracted to you, I'm happy in my marriage. Like, I just want to watch the summer league game and drink a double shot of Casamigos because there's no other good tequila in this fucking bar. And I just want to drink my drink neat.
Well, but think about it. That just seems to be the way it goes. Even married, or just if somebody's got a girlfriend, it seems like women are attracted to men with women, right? So
They are. But here's the thing, though, Parlay Pete. How often does somebody?
Mostly, if there's a good guy out there that they see, for the most part, they're probably taken. And if they're not taken by marriage or relationship, they already have somebody that they entertain to the aspect of you're gonna either you need to be badder. Like there's got to be some caveat to where I'm willing to be like, oh, I can drop everything I'm doing, or you literally caught me almost on the rebound, essentially, to where it might have just ended, and you just
the thing is,
as soon as it ended, like it just that seems to be the way that shit happens.
But dog, the OGs don't give you that game and tell you about it because, like, I talked this shit to I talked with my therapist about this shit, right? I was like, man, look, here's what I'm doing. Here's what's happening. Whoop the whoop the whoop the whoop. And then he tells me a story because my therapist is also a preacher, and because nobody knows who my therapist is, I'll tell the story. He said a woman put her panties in a damn collection envelope for him.
I guess and maybe he didn't go into that great of detail. Now, was this a collection plate or
no? It was
afterwards where you drop it off somewhere if you didn't.
Yeah. So he spoke at a church that he was not a member of, and she sent a little kid up to bring the envelope to him.
This must have been either a super thin thong or else that shit was packed.
Thin thong.
Okay.
And the kid, like, he gave it to him. He felt
it would feel a certain way.
Like, he felt it, but like he said, like the way he do that shit is like when he's at a church, he's preaching, he gets money, he gives it to his wife. Like soon he gives it to his wife put it in her purse. You know what I'm saying?
This in Albany?
Yeah, nigga, I said it's my therapist.
I know. I just didn't know if this was in Albany.
Bro, this nigga told me this story this week. I went to my therapist. I go to my therapist once a month. I went to my therapist this week. Okay. Yes, world. I have a therapist. It's great to go talk to somebody about your fucking problems. It's amazing, and he's a black man, so we get to. Bro, me and my therapist, we be in there like talking good shit. It's actually like kicking it with one of my niggas for real. But anyway, so like he gave it to his wife. His wife, he said like, yeah, my wife, she opened them, she checks it to see what it is and whatever. She opened it, it's some panties. She give it back to the little kid who brought it up because the woman sent it through a little kid. And his wife was like, hey, tell her she can keep this. And I'm sitting there thinking like, bro, the audacity of somebody to give a preacher who
in church
with his wife, with his wedding ring on and his wife there, you are sending him your panties. And I just be sitting there, I be thinking about Future when he said these bitches ain't shit. And I go, I want me, like, you women want me to take you seriously, but then I hear stories like this, or I go out.
It would be the equivalent of a man doing that to a woman. And it doesn't even have to be in a church setting. I'm just trying to think.
No man like a dick
giving it to a woman. So
a dick pic to a chick that you hadn't had a conversation with before.
Yeah, and exactly. It'd be along the lines of something like that. Unsolicited. Hey, I think you're hot. What do you think? What's up? Like it's wickedness, and Future said it best since you brought him up.
These bitches ain't shit.
It's an evil world we live in.
Gambles is upset with us using his nickname.
I see it. Think about it. But you know what? This is good because it got him to talk in the group. And I get it, Gambles. Look, we're all busy. Stick your head in.
Look here. Gambles isn't that busy because his fucking fiance is not where he lives at. So I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah. Well,
we all go to work every day.
Exactly. And
JP.
It's always good to JP goes to work every day.
Oh yeah, I forgot he does. He does.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have shot at JP either.
No, I know, but no. I mean, he's reporting somewhere. He's reporting somewhere. But
hey, did I tell you I called JP the last time he pissed me off in the group text? It's like, hey, bro, we gotta talk in voice to voice.
You did tell me about that.
Okay.
We didn't go into depth about it, but you told me that you called him, and I forgot what you said the conversation was.
Nah, it was a good conversation. It was just
what led to that? What was said in the group? I forgot what it was.
I don't know, but I'm petty and I take things personally. And I let a lot of people live in my head rent free. And I'm like, I can't let a nigga who's in my group text be in my I can't treat JP like I treat Pops, right? Like, oh God, like I can't treat JP like I treat Pops. So, like, because he's my guy, I called him. Like, JP's the reason that I passed out on my 30th birthday at the Falcons game because
oh man,
he came and sat with me and he snuck a bottle of Lobos into the fucking.
I know. Hey man, I remember the night.
Yeah.
You don't remember that, but I do.
I don't remember shit.
I remember the damn thing.
Yeah, you remember the night because you went to Smart Dennis.
You slept on one couch and then you woke up on another.
Yeah, and thank God you didn't wake up, but I woke up naked on another couch.
SMH. All right. I don't even know how that happens.
Nigga, do you think I
know it wasn't hot in here? I keep the AC on, so I know a nigga wasn't hot. So I don't know how you ended up naked, but
I know I wasn't fucking that nigga. I just fucking drunk.
I know,
bro. I had 3 weeks of shame not wanting to speak to you after the way I felt after that fucking night. Damn it. Josh says he's gonna call back in 10 minutes. Can we stretch this podcast out for 10 more minutes? I'm sure we can because we got a bunch of topics we haven't talked about.
We most definitely can.
Let's see, where you want to go? You want to talk about Gavin Newsom standing strong against guns? You want to talk about athletes who played in the wrong era? Do you want to talk about my conference map, top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL?
Rewind it back. Run through it again. I'm sorry.
I got Gavin Newsom standing strong against guns.
Okay.
I got athletes who played in the wrong era.
I like that one, honestly, because that was one that I really did want to touch.
Yeah, I know you do. So
because and I guess I can preface it even for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. You said this stuff.
Andre Iguodala, right? Was he on? He was just on ESPN, or it wasn't a podcast.
I don't know what the fuck he said that dumb shit at.
But yeah, he basically made, and I'm not even mad at his Rasheed Wallace would be a better player in today's NBA take. I thought that it was honestly a good take to a degree.
I want to talk about that take after you finish it, though.
Considering Sheed, for instance, is like a 4 or 5 time All-Star. He had a successful run in Detroit where he did win a ring. And before that, of course, he was athletic and was a good one of the arguably for a minute, even though the Blazers were just like a playoff team that would lose in the first round, he was the best player on the Blazers with Damon Stoudemire and all those other guys. Scottie Pippen. He was the best player on those teams. He's drafted, I think, he's top 5 pick with the Wizards early in his career. And so there was like a lot of stuff to where I'm like, okay, yes, I can see how his game translates today. And he's looked at highly and is much more sought after in today's NBA. Makes a ton of sense. I drew the line, though. First of all, I didn't think he's necessarily a top 5 player. He was athletic too, but like I don't know about top 5. That especially considering we still consider guys that are in their 16th, 15th, 20th year in the NBA to still be considered top 5 that we know are better than him, regardless of era. I.e. Kevin Durant and LeBron James, being 2 players that most people still consider top 5 that are better than Rasheed Wallace, and they played against him too. So, now granted, she caught KD maybe on the back end, but he definitely played LeBron on the front.
In 07.
He played
LeBron scored 25 straight on his bitch ass.
That wasn't even the best LeBron that he played. So that was young LeBron. That was high.
Hey, you want to hear something crazy?
Go for it.
What do you think the best LeBron, like which year best LeBron?
It's definitely one of the Heat years.
It's not.
You could argue maybe the second stint Cavs, one of the first 2 years, but like
hear me out.
He didn't win an MVP in any of those Cavs years.
Yeah, fuck all that. I watched the Game 7 2016 last night. Like I watched that game in the end last night. I was bored. And I watched how the Spurs were packing the lane on LeBron. Tim Duncan was on LeBron on a switch.
Yeah, but what was he, 37?
But yeah, exactly. But hear me out. Hear me out. And he was standing at damn near the elbow on LeBron. Like he gave LeBron a 3. You know the 3 that LeBron like does that little look around and makes now.
Uh-huh.
Tim Duncan gave him that 3, and LeBron took 3 steps back just to run forward to get to the rim, and he ended up dribbling off of his leg. And I go, damn, I want to make Heat LeBron the best LeBron, but I know Lakers LeBron, if he gets that space, Lakers LeBron doesn't get that space because the Cavs LeBron is hitting that 3 on a nigga's head.
So I've got his stats pulled up in front of me from a season standpoint. And the Miami years, the best year of LeBron Miami years was definitely
2012.
The first title, yep. 27, 8, and 6. Those were the numbers. You could argue, of course, the year that he took the Cavs to the finals by himself, essentially, when he got swept by the Spurs. He was 38 and 7 that year.
LeBron's stats would not give me the best LeBron because
you gotta go Miami LeBron though. He had a year where he shot 40% from 3.
Bruh,
really argue year 3, title 2 in LeBron might be better because it was 20.
He didn't shoot
shot 40% from 3. He might have only attempted 100 in the year. I don't know. But what
hold on. I'm about to make a phone call about DeAndre Ayton. I'm gonna see if he's gonna answer.
Who's the guest?
Josh Etienne.
Okay.
Hey, yo, Josh, you're on a podcast, so don't say nothing fucking crazy right now. I haven't read your text you just sent me, but I'm sitting here with Parlay Pete, and you sent me something about Ayton, and I liked it. So I said, let me call this nigga right now.
What's going on, gentlemen? How y'all doing?
Not much, man. We were just talking about you earlier because I was telling Parlay Pete about your whole get me the Boston vibe on the void in Boston sports media.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, that's a thing. You should think about that.
I mean, it makes a ton of
sense, man.
You need an unbiased opinion up in Boston. Boston, there's a lot of, fuck Aaron Judge, nasty Nester. What the fuck is a nasty Nester?
Hey, I'm going to tell you though, Josh, like you're competing against Atlanta, and I will put in as many applications in the Bay Area because that's where the wife is from. But like Boston is number 2 behind it, the Atlanta area, because I want to keep my Falcon seasons tickets and I want to like not sell them. I want to go to those games.
This is a great place to obviously.
But understand, like I am more than comfortable coming to Boston doing a corporate thing.
Nashville slept on, by the way.
Nashville. We don't talk about Nashville. That's a different conversation. But hey, J.E. Money. You send me a text about Ayton, man. Just can you break it on the pod for me, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially, the take is what was Phoenix going to do? Let Ayton walk? Consider like they don't have $30 million in cap space, so it's not like they're going to be able to sign a guy to that same type of contract. Like the CBA and the salary cap is literally set up to be able to retain your draft picks. You know, like a guy that has priced himself out of your market. You can go over the cap or do all of those weird things to be able to do it. And so this is the perfect situation. Like they had nothing to lose, but it does delay the Kyrie KD thing, because then you get into a weird situation where it's like now you have to wait until January to be able to trade Ayton.
Well, I'll throw this out here and say that
and you can't trade him to
Suns,
Indiana for a year.
No, Indiana did what they were supposed to do.
I'm saying even if you match it and Indiana still wants him, you can't even facilitate a deal with the team wants him because they're giving him an offer sheet. You can't facilitate a deal with them and then if you wanted to trade him elsewhere, like if it was in the KD deal, like you said, like you're still waiting until a little like 3 weeks into January to do it. MLK weekend, essentially, right? Like,
yeah, it's not terrible. I mean, and they've got 48 hours to do the deal now, or they wait until January. And so I think they're on the clock.
So yeah. So they've matched it. They're probably gonna do some weird NBA shit if there's some other stuff going on to where the offer sheet wasn't legitimate. It wasn't a legitimate offer sheet. It was a conversation with the fucking agent that then started a conversation with the Suns. So the Suns matched it because they have to match it to make sure that they can get something for the asset, which I think James Jones was waiting on because he didn't want to pay a center $30 million because he understands how basketball works and he'd much rather pay Miles 18 than pay fucking 8 and 30. He's smart.
We know what the weight was for. The weight was for KD. I mean, that's what they were waiting on. Now we know that this is the issue with the KD trade. Obviously, you can't have two players on their max.
Oh shit! Hold on, Josh Holsey's calling. Give me 1 second, Josh Etienne. Don't hang up. Josh Holsey.
Yo.
You are on Big Baby and Parlay Pete's podcast, so speak accordingly.
How do you do, motherfucker?
Say hello. What's going on?
And you're also here with Josh Etienne. He's on the phone too.
So is it the Josh and Josh Parlay Pete?
Yeah. I got Josh and Parlay Pete and Big Baby. Yeah, it's fucking beautiful here.
Why y'all put Gamble's nickname out there like that, man?
Excuse me?
What is this nigga talking about?
Gamble's mad y'all put his nickname out there like that.
Well, I asked Gambles could I use his nickname, and he said yes, and then I said it. Am I right, Parlay Pete?
Run back the tape if need be.
Yeah, but I asked could I say his nickname, but then when I said it, he said "fuck you," and I go, "Bro, I asked for permission to call you Poopy."
And he said "fuck me," and I
didn't have a little story. Yeah,
exactly. We're sitting here talking about DeAndre Ayton right now, though, Josh. And I think that you shouldn't pay a center $30 million like you pay Rob Williams $12 million and you call it a day. But
Rob Williams worth more. I don't know. 12 now. He would get.
But he's gonna get hurt too.
But yesterday's price isn't today's price. I feel like the centers are going to start costing $30 million. You're getting another ground floor for when it's going to get ridiculous for the next generation of dudes.
Give Miles Turner 15.
You give Miles Turner 15, and that's perfect, bro. Like what all the Suns were doing is like, hey, bro, we don't want to pay max dollars for one center. We're gonna get two players for DeAndre Ayton, and we're gonna pay fucking that nigga. Yeah, Pierce, go ahead. I got two niggas on the fucking phone right now.
My bad. I'm just saying this. James Jones could. This is what I think is gonna happen. Okay. Because, like we discussed earlier, we know that it's impossible for him to trade Ayton for Turner to at least get something back. James Jones might approach Indiana brass and say, hey, we're going to give you a protected 2026 pick for Miles Turner.
Probably unprotected because he feels like they're going to be good.
If you guys don't take this deal, we're going to match this.
No. James Jones.
So take the deal in a separate deal. Take the deal, and we won't match the Ayton contract. And we'll see if Indiana says "fuck you."
What you got, Josh Holsey? I care what you have to say right now.
Well, I do agree with that point on Pierce. Like that, the only way the Suns got any leverage back was if they were to match the offer. But at the same time, the Suns aren't going to win anything with him. They aren't going to win anything without him. So their choice is how bad or good do they want to be, and with him, they're a little better. So,
they waited so long
well
because they wanted to get the KD thing done, but they had to move Ben Simmons in order to do it, and so, they ran out of time.
So, question for the two Joshes, is crazy. I have two of my closest friends' name are fucking Josh. It confused the fuck out of my wife when I reference y'all too. I have to speak to the Haitian. Sure. I have to talk about Haitian Josh and fucking Big Teeth Josh. That's how I reference y'all to my wife, and she understands. No shots either one of y'all. But I'm a firm believer that you can't max out a center and then try to win an NBA championship, and that includes Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. Your center has to be in that fucking $12 to $18 million pay range. Excuse me, $10 to $18 million pay range, closer to 12. But you can't max out a center to win a championship. Am I crazy for thinking that, or am I on some Colin Cowherd bullshit?
You're on some hater bullshit.
Well, the question is, what else are they going to do? Who else are they going to get?
So for the team, so for those teams who are like, who else are they going to get? They do what they need to do because they don't have other alternative. But I think those teams are building to not winning a champion. But let me talk to the guy who lives in Boston, who damn near had a champion, and they have the best center on the best contract in the league.
Yeah. I mean, Robert Williams was fun to watch develop over the course of this year. I went to a few Celtics games. Just like you could just see him getting better and better. And he's definitely the X factor, and I think that him having that like bum knee year that he kept tweaking, I think really impacted him. But the contract does matter. But I think at this point, like, this is just a new price again for Senna. Like, I think you pay him and you say he's been consistent. He doesn't get injured too much. Not as many long-term injuries, and you go from there. Because like with a guy like Robert Williams, he's off hurt. So what happens next? Like, does that become the thing? But I agree. I do think $30 million is a bit rich. But I think you trade him. My big wonder is it feels like Ayton might be the piece that doesn't leave the Suns, and that might mean that D-Book is out of it for that KD trade.
D-Book ain't going nowhere.
They ain't getting KD.
We'll see.
Well, this is just kind of my thing with the Ayton thing. I personally am not paying DeAndre Ayton $33 million, even if the market dictates that that's what he deserves. I'm not paying him that because.
Well, hold on. Parlay Pete, you're in a group text who will tell you what a nigga's worth, and they don't care what the market has to say.
That is true, but we're going to throw that out the window. We see what centers get. I mean, Rudy Gobert essentially probably makes about that on an annual basis. That's about where Rudy Gobert is. I don't see the value with Ayton going to – for him, it's just a payday. I mean, he's going to Indiana to get paid, and I totally understand that. But for the Suns to put themselves more than over the luxury tax and to retain this team that we saw go to the finals, have a 2-0 lead, not do it, with Chris Paul only getting older, and he's obviously already an injury-prone player, and then you've got Devin Booker, who you just paid too. I'm not so sure that that's going to be the route that would make the most sense for them. I'd let them walk anyways, just because you've got, at least based on last season, to me, JaVale McGee and Bismack Biyombo filled in admirably, considering these were guys that were making – and JaVale McGee already left, though, right? I think somebody might have already signed him. But, like, I think that they filled in admirably as a platoon system when he was hurt anyways. And so – from a number standpoint, I'm not paying him and getting into that luxury tax. But
hey, Parlay Pete, you've heard this. I don't know if the two Joshes have, but I look at NBA centers like I look at NFL running backs. I don't want to pay one guy a lot of money to do it. I want to pay a couple of guys to fill that void, and I don't want to pay them shit. And that's the center position in the NBA.
Hey, so what do you think about like Bam Adebayo contract? I'm intrigued by that.
Bam.
Is that an overpay?
Bam's not a center. Bam plays power forward. Bam can make a three. Bam
run him at the 5.
No. He plays the 5.
It's
But he's
similar to
not
what
an 8.
Kevin Garnett was. Like, think about it. Kevin Garnett.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me talk about Bam, because Bam's my nigga. We talking about dark skinned niggas playing basketball. Bam, he block shots. He offensively, you can run a nice offense through Bam as your number one when Jimmy's on the bench.
Make a 12 to 15 foot shot.
He can make the 12 to 15. He can make the 12 to 15 foot shot. He can guard Giannis. That's the thing about Bam. Where Bam's value matters is he can guard Giannis.
He's super.
Anybody else?
Super Kevin
he
Durant.
Can guard Giannis.
He's super Kevin Garnett light. Like
yes.
Super light.
And because of what Bam can do, I can pay him. Here's what I know. Giannis.
So Ayton doesn't have those balls.
No. I watched what Giannis did to Ayton. I think Giannis said, "Hey, bro, I want 30 today." Ayton, nigga, eat my shorts, nigga.
I only trust Ayton at the top.
What are those qualities he can develop?
Ayton is the only area I trust.
No, because you got to guard Bam, you got to have some wiggle. You got to have some left to right. Hey, Josh Hosey.
What?
Do you think that Bam can guard Giannis properly?
Bam or Ayton?
Huh?
Bam or Ayton?
I said Bam. No, I know Ayton can't guard him. I watched the finals last year, bro.
Do I think Bam can guard properly?
You think Bam could reasonably guard
Can he hold
Giannis based on what he's getting paid?
8 and 4.
I think reasonably, yeah. That's the term we're going with.
Yeah. So would you give Bam a max contract over Ayton?
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think it's all situational. And what
I'm talking about the situations that they're both in right now.
Yeah, I'd probably give them both a max. But I think Miami's kind of a different situation where I'd still give them the max, but Miami's always able to bring in talent. The Phoenix Suns aren't. So the Phoenix Suns are kind of forced to.
Have any of y'all ever been downtown Scottsdale?
I haven't.
Let me tell you, let me tell you, the nigga who went downtown Scottsdale, boy, the tail is down there. Oh boy, I'm married, so I can't speak my truth. Huh?
I mean, ass is everywhere, but we haven't seen many free agents.
Now, ass. Now, the ass is everywhere, but the type of ass ain't everywhere.
But have we seen many free agents go to Phoenix? Do you think they're pulling in any hot?
They don't go because Robert Sarver's a cheap fuck. It has nothing to do with the city. It's Robert Sarver. He's a terrible owner.
And apparently a racist. But I think that
all the owners are racist. Come on.
Directly racist. But I think that now Phoenix is an attractive destination. It's on the West Coast. Let's start there. That's always attractive for anyone.
Hour flight to Vegas, hour flight to LA.
Yeah, you're and that's like Phoenix and Miami are like top, or maybe not necessarily Miami, but that Miami, South Florida, these are top retirement areas in the United States. Now, a 30-something-year-old's not thinking about that, but like I'm just simply saying, there's that market there. There's money there. Phoenix is like the 4th largest metropolitan in the United States, or 4th largest city to be, or 5th. They're in the top 5. It's like them in Houston.
Right, look. I done been to downtown Scottsdale, so it ain't shit. It's gonna be something this podcast that will tell me if I got 100 million to go down there as a single man. I'd be more than happy. Trust me.
Point being,
I'm just from what we've seen.
What you say, J.E. Money?
D Book's crib is ridiculous. If any of you all follow Architectural Digest,
nigga,
watch it on YouTube.
His Monte Carlo is ridiculous. The fact that he driving
he
a
shows
Monte
you some of his
Carlo,
collection.
like D Book be driving a Monte Carlo to the games and shit. That just let me know what time it is out there. It's like it's good to drive the old school and be a old Michigan ass nigga who wasn't raised by his daddy but love his daddy. I can relate. And keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's the thing about Phoenix that niggas don't like. Phoenix can be Miami if the organization shows that they're willing to treat players right. Phoenix don't work because Robert Sarver sucks. If you put Ballmer in, I tell you what, Steve Ballmer could win a championship in Phoenix faster than he could as the Clippers owner.
I disagree. And
LA's a better city to people who haven't been to both. I think Phoenix is a better city than LA, personally. But Steve Ballmer, bro, I hate LA. But Steve Ballmer in Phoenix, what he could do in Phoenix without having to compete with the Lakers. Yeah, no. He could get you a championship in LA. He could get you a championship faster in Phoenix than he could in LA.
I get what you're saying because the Clippers are just second fiddle no matter what. I mean, the Lakers were terrible. Even with Kobe injured and, barely playing, and they had Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, they JJ Redick, they had these teams, Doc Rivers, they had the team, and they never broke through. I don't know if that has anything to do with fans, personally. But
that's why I'm telling you that if he did that shit in Phoenix, where those are the fans, it's the reason why Charles Barkley is homestead in Phoenix.
He also had his greatest success there in terms of he won an MVP. So his best season ever was there. And he went to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, but Charles Barkley's best successes happened.
He was great in Philly. Yeah, he was great. Yeah. That's what made Phoenix get him.
Hey, J-Ho.
That boy fell asleep.
Yeah, he probably ain't fell asleep. He probably just said fuck us. Hey, J.E. Money.
You
in Boston. You got Miami roots. If we go through all the basketball towns, right? Because we got the basketball towns. We got Miami. We got Boston. We got LA. I'm going to throw Phoenix in there. Not that they are a championship city, but they've been consistently good enough through multiple eras. You throw Phoenix in there.
Mm-hmm.
Which basketball city would you choose to make your home?
So a buddy of mine just moved to Phoenix. He goes to a lot of the games. It seems like, obviously they've had a lot of success over the last 3-4 years, and so he just literally got in there as, they've kind of like with Chris Paul and all of that. Seems like a cool place. But I think Miami is a different vibe. The atmosphere at the FTX Arena now, formerly American Airlines Arena, is it's a club. Like, people don't get there during the first quarter. People are dressed in like button ups and slacks and like coming from fancy schmancy dinner or getting ready to go to the club after and then partying in their seats. And I feel like that's different. There's nothing really that beautiful about TD, but it's just that there's definitely an energy there. The nosebleeds definitely feel like you're gonna fall over. I think Boston is a historical experience, but I think watching the Heat play in Miami feels like you're in another country. And I don't know if you can get that anywhere else.
I keep selling Boston to my wife so that we can be neighbors one day, okay?
Yeah, with couples trip, I'm gonna sell it. We're gonna just throw our weight around Boston Fat Cat. So the whole deal.
Oh yeah, I didn't tell you that. I told the wife that you invited us up there like multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Why didn't you tell me your friend invited us to Boston?" And I explained to her in our home budget. That's a different conversation. But just know she wants to make up that way. When I sent that text in that group, it was like, "Hey, your wifey wants to come to Boston."
Yeah, we'll definitely got to get that on the books soon.
Yeah, no, like nigga. I ain't talking about visiting. I'm talking about like living. That's a thing that she's open to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, thanks for calling in, bro. Like we're gonna bring you on before the season starts because we're gonna talk the Dolphins and what y'all done this off season, and we're gonna do a full football podcast.
Well, we just
Oh
absolutely,
yeah.
we just absolutely got to hit football.
Yeah,
We're
we
gonna
got
preview, our predictions and
we're gonna do the whole football thing. We'll bring you on.
it will be the Big Baby
All right,
and
that's a bet.
Pete and friends NFL manifesto.
Yeah. Because what you don't know, Parlay Pete is
I like that.
J.E. Money. He's a football bet. He's a football gambler.
You do,
I am. I'm trying to hit some points.
Yeah, he throws a couple bets out every week, and he's a legit Dolphins fan who reads like the Miami Herald or whatever the fucking local newspaper is.
Yeah, it's the Herald.
Yeah, the Herald, the Sentinel. I read the Beat. I like the beat writers.
Like
Omar Kelly.
Well,
bro, this nigga will hit me on some like beat writer shit sometimes, and I be like, bruh, I don't read beat writers, bro. I read I read national niggas. Period.
Well,
like, I don't read
even though we'll get into this when we fully engage into football, just based on today, because for the most part, I mean, not every move has been made. I mean, Julio Jones still doesn't have a home, so we know he's going to be playing football somewhere, right? But like, based on what you have for Miami, first of all, give me a ceiling and a floor, and then what happens with Tua if both whatever your ceiling and your floor happen? Like, tell me what happens with Tua as well with your ceiling and floor prediction.
I feel like, in short, I'd say that I feel like we're at least our floor is 500 or whatever it is now that they've added the game. So 9-8 or whatever. Yeah. So 9-8, I think is the floor. I think that we can potentially be really good if the defense does what it needs to do. I think that we need the right pickups. I'm happy to have Melvin Ingram. I think that there's some good pickups there. So I think that they can potentially win the division is that ceiling for me. I think if they're able to split the games with the Bills, I think they can run the Jets because of the defense and the D-line. Especially, I mean, I don't think Zach Wilson is going to beat us at all, potentially. And so, who's left? The Patriots?
Yeah, so 4-2 in the division because you're going to split with Bill. And especially, I mean, in my opinion, I believe the Dolphins still split with New England too.
Yeah, I think Bill Belichick wins.
So 11-6 is what sounds like the number for you guys, and you're hoping that the tiebreaker, because the Bills are winning, unless a catastrophic injury happens. Bills are winning 11 games this year. In my opinion, I believe they're going to win 11 games.
I think this might be the year that Josh Allen finally breaks. I don't know. I don't believe the Iron Man narrative about him, and they ran him into the ground last year. And like at the midseason point last year, they looked really bad, and I'm still reminded of that Jacksonville game that ended with a terrible score. It just feels like the Bills have to regress at some point. Like, it's cool. Josh Allen looked amazing last year. Can he do it again? Yeah, that's what I want to see.
They added Von Miller.
They did. I think they're a better team. But
they had the number one defense in the NFL, and they added Von Miller.
They are better.
They actually have a running back now.
You know what, J.E. Money? You're selling me right now because I'm sitting here thinking because I would not pick the Dolphins to win the division, but I bet y'all to win the division.
They drafted James Cook to go with that platoon of running backs.
It's a good bet. It's a dark horse.
And they added Jameson Crowder to be the 3.
Hey, look. Yeah, look here. All that shit you're saying is good shit. But I tell you that I'd throw a smooth 100 on the Dolphins to win the division.
Why not? Right?
It's probably like plus 50 at least.
Huh?
No, I said they're probably about plus 350.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the 100 is worth your money, man, because they have the pieces, and if Tua's average to above average,
I gave him a little bit too much credit. Let me just run through it because I got the odds in front of me.
Yeah,
Bills minus 190, Dolphins plus 450, Patriots plus 500, Jets plus 2,200.
I would bet Patriots and Dolphins. I would throw money on both of those to win the division because I think
I totally agree.
I think Buffalo takes a step back, and with that step back and them playing a first place schedule, that shit gets weird.
I'll give you.
Dayball's gone. They got new play callers this year.
And that's another thing that will, I think, if anything affects them more than anything, will be. I don't know who's the OC. I don't know who the OC is, but like,
it ain't Dayball.
Well, the question is, did they?
Is
it the quarterback coach? Was it somebody that was already in the building, or did they go out and get someone?
It don't matter. It's not Dayball calling the plays.
It does matter. It does matter because everybody could have said that about the Falcons when Kyle Shanahan left. But if we had hired Matt LaFleur, we would have been in perfect. It wouldn't have been really much of a fall off at all. Yep.
We are all here to do what Falcons do. Look at that.
That's why
that motherfucker. And now
that's why it matters, though. But that's why it matters. I mean, we don't know if they've got somebody in there that know the same offense, and they're just as good, if not a better play call.
Hey, look here. I've been on a podcast for 3 hours. And
this is a record for us, by the way.
Yeah, no, I have a fucking wife, and I've been on a podcast for over 3 hours. So, to all the topics that we didn't get to, we'll get to them later. J.E. Money, thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it. No, thanks for having me. Nice to hear from you boys. Be safe up here.
Absolutely. We're going to bring you back when we do our actual legit fucking.
The football one, yeah, we got to get that.
First, like our NFL intro, like we're going to bring you back, camera, link, and all. You know how that shit goes.
Yeah, I'll be ready to go. I'll have my Dolphin takes and some good bets that I think the Dolphins might be able to steal this year. So.
Oh, no, absolutely. You know, you're always welcome here because you actually do your homework. Like, you're not a football fan who doesn't know about football. So, you're always welcome here.
I love the sport. Yeah. I appreciate that, man. Well, y'all boys take care. Hold it down. Have a great night.
All right, my dog.
Absolutely. Do the same.
Yep. Josh Hosey just hung up on us and just stopped. He just didn't care. Like he didn't hang up his phone, but he was no longer on the line.
Well, what it was Josh was like, and what it is it's unfortunate for him. It's because he called back and there was somebody else already on the line.
Yeah.
So it was super impromptu. It wasn't why he was called or at what point in the show he was called. So I think that for him, he was just like, all right, there's too many chefs in the kitchen. I'm out.
Yeah, because he already didn't want to come cook anyways.
Exactly.
You guys
already had something you said you had to talk about anyways.
Yeah, I was using that to get him on the. I mean, at this point, I was using to get him on the pod to talk about the shit I want him to talk about because I know I can privately call him about private shit whenever.
We should get Josh on that football. Well, he
might
do it. Too much fucking AJ Brown dick. I
just want to make sure he'll come on.
I've never seen a guy tout a guy that's literally paid as a top 5 player at a position, and everybody around the league can easily question if he's even top 10. He's paid top. He might even be paid top. Because what? Tyreek Hill's top paid.
Yeah. Devontae's
there. And then who else was another wide receiver that got a crazy deal?
After Tyreek and Devontae, I don't know.
It could be A.J. Brown. And that's my point. That's my point. He's put it this way. Even a hurt Odell Beckham, I would rather have on my team than A.J. Brown. From all different phases of the game. On-field production, jersey sales, everything. I think he's a better receiver.
A.J. Brown.
With the injury history. A.J. Brown history too.
And Debo, they some yak-ass niggas.
I mean Debo, though. Because Debo does more. Maybe Debo's career is an 8-year career. Sure. 9 years, like 8 years of actual great football. Nah, I don't care. Give me that. Give me that over. I don't know what the A.J. Brown thing is. And I get it. He had a mediocre quarterback. He's going to another quarterback that, for all intents and purposes, do you think Jalen Hurts is better than Ryan Tannehill?
I don't, but I hope
they're not the same guys.
I don't think he is, but I'm rooting for him to be better than Tannehill.
Me too.
Because he's a nigga.
Well, I want to see Josh fucking deal with going 4-13.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. Like, Jew and Josh have put me in these situations where I root for.
Well, the Steelers
Mike
are primed
Tomlin.
to at least be in last place. They're primed to actually be in last place this year.
I root for Mike Tomlin being good because he's like the staple black coach of the NFL.
And he always has been good. He literally has no losing seasons. So
and then like I want Philly to suck because I hate Josh, but at the same time, like I want Philly to be good because I want Jalen Hurts to keep his job. You know what I mean? Like it's a tough spot to be in.
Cowboys are better.
We're Falcons fans.
We are all here to do what Falcons do. Look at that.
But hey, Parlay Pete, we've talked a lot today.
More than any other time. This is literally got to be the first 3-hour show.
I think it is, and the crazy thing is, there's so many topics we didn't hit today, but it was a good pod.
I know. It adds more intrigue to bring it up next week. Because think about it, even the Atlanta era. Yeah. That was something we've been holding on for maybe 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then we finally started it, and we still couldn't even finish it.
Exactly. Well, it opened up a Pandora's box for a podcast with Mr. Turner.
Yeah, it really opened up a podcast to where we're gonna only talk Atlanta music that entire podcast.
Yes, because it honestly deserves its own show.
It does. But hey, dog, let me get off.
Get to your wife. You have a good night, brother.
Yeah, I'm about to get to my living room and watch TV.
Well, you go for it.
Yeah,
you guys watching anything special?
Huh?
I said you guys watching anything special? Like you got a show that y'all watch?
No, I mean, I'm rewatching Suits with her, and she's watching it for the first time. I'm about to go on the deck and smoke a cigar because I want to smoke a cigar tonight, and she's already fucking asleep. She's been in bed for 2 hours.
Well, there we go. It's already a night set and matched.
All right, my guy.
All right, brother. Salute.